This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, a part of the Go Network. Go.com.
You guys ready? Which team will conquer the long layoff? Let me see the wins. Officials often a factor. SEC crew. Fellas, keep the hankies in the pockets.
Okay, first of all, two important points. Number one, Virginia Tech in its first national championship game. This is the fourth for Florida State in this decade. That's important. Number two, this is going to be a game of big plays. Florida State's going to make one more big play than Virginia Tech. That's the difference in the game. Bobby Bowden gets his perfect season.
Wow, that's a great pick there, Tony. I look at this football game coming down to a couple things. It's about defense. Both defenses, I think, are going to play well. I expect both teams to come out and play hard on both sides of the football. I think Michael Vick, his ability to play in this football game, not pressing and pressuring on Chris Weinke, that's the story of the game. 24-20. Virginia Tech.
Oh, nice pick. All right. Well, let me tell you what I think. It's tough for a team to go to the big show and win the first time. I'll give you an example in the Super Bowl. In the last 10 Super Bowls, 3 teams have gone for the first time. 0-3. Florida State's here to work. Virginia takes it all. I'm going for the perfect. No.
Oh, you're turning. Hold on a second.
Florida State.
You're turning on your boy.
This is Florida State.
You're turning on your boy.
Florida State. Go,
oh, my gosh. Oh, that's
record.
A case of the Blue Bloods, the recruits for Florida State, the high school All-Americans.
A man attacks a woman in a school parking lot. How safe are you?
ABC Sports proudly presents exclusive coverage of the national championship game of the Bowl Championship Series.
Florida State quarterback Chris Weinke missed last year's title game because of an injury. Tonight, a rare second chance. Controversial Peter Warrick is a Seminoles game breaker. He returned his senior season for a chance to win this trophy. Violent defenses are a Florida State trademark. Coach Bobby Bowden has produced winning teams, colorful characters, and Heisman Trophy winners. Tonight, he hopes to reap his second national title and his first ever unbeaten season. The war dance is underway. But the town of Blacksburg, Virginia won't surrender easily. This is where Virginia Tech flourishes. Future Hall of Famer Bruce Smith is her most famous graduate. Coach Frank Beamer grew up a Hokie, playing there before coaching them to an unbeaten season. His quarterback is Michael Vick, a fabulously talented freshman who's planning an upset here tonight. The emotional leader is fiery defensive end Corey Moore. He plays like a young Bruce Smith. The time for talking is over. Number 1 versus number 2. Florida State and Virginia Tech for the championship. You are looking live at the Louisiana Superdome, where tonight we'll crown the first champion of the new millennium. The unbeaten Florida State Seminoles inside their locker room here in New Orleans. They were expected to make it here before the season even began. But not their opponents, the Virginia Tech Hokies. They climbed from number 13 in the preseason poll all the way to number 2 with their magical year. We welcome you to the 2000 Ford Taurus pregame show as we get ready to bring you the first meeting of David versus Goliath in the 21st century. Good evening, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. Let's begin tonight by checking in on our two teams. We start with Virginia Tech, and here's Jack Arute. Jack?
Brent, if anybody's wondering how Michael Vick, the freshman, is handling the national championship pressure, consider this. For the final hour before departing the hotel, he went to the team's video arcade and played arcade basketball. He took on all his teammates as comers and whipped them all. Once the team got on the bus, however, they didn't utter a word until they got to their locker room. Now, for what's going on with Florida State, here's Lynn Swan.
Thank you very much, Jack. I would term the Florida State Seminoles as quietly confident, because normally it's a loud, boisterous, fun-loving group with pregame meal on the bus right over. They were unusually quiet. Only a few groups discussing what they hoped the game would have from this evening, and confident because they have all their personnel healthy and ready to play, unlike the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl of last year where they had to play without their starting quarterback, Chris Weinke. Brent?
The Big Easy, Lynn. We're enjoying yourself as a 24-hour business. Today and last night, the streets were jammed with folks looking for those precious tickets.
The 2004 Taurus pregame show, brought to you by the new 2004 Taurus with the advanced personal safety system.
What if you see?
Back in New Orleans, where our two quarterbacks here this evening are exact opposites. As you look at the tail of the tape, one a 19-year-old left-hander, Michael Vick, the other a 27-year-old right-hander, Chris Weinke. And we welcome my colleague, Gary Danielson. Gary, two unique stories at the quarterback position.
You know, Brent, I think the major story in college football has been Michael Vick, a freshman leading his team here, and the story of whether this would be staged right in this big stage. I don't think so. I'm down on the field. He recognized me, gave me that big wink. He is ready to play. Brent, if you talk to the coaches, he's really, for the new decade, the holy grail of what coaches are looking for. Gladiator body, sprinter speed, and a Randy Johnson fastball. He's got the whole package.
But wouldn't you like to have a 27-year-old under center in a title game?
27. Let me think here. I was in the NFL 3 years and been benched 3 times by 20. Truly. He's the traditional guy. He's that age because for 6 years he tried to play baseball, but he's 20-1 as a starter. He missed it a year ago, and he's pointed to this game. He's going to be a drop back guy, but he's got plenty of receivers.
You know, ordinarily we have the best seats in the house, but not tonight. That's to our colleagues, John Saunders and Terry Bowden. Welcome, John.
Brent, thanks a lot. We're extremely excited to be here. Now, remember a couple of years ago, Bob Greasy had to call the game with his son Brian playing for Michigan. They won the Rose Bowl National Championship. We won't try and fool anyone. This guy is extremely nervous for a number of reasons. Your dad's won more football games than anyone in the 90s. He's been to the championship game 3 of the last 4 years, but just 1 title.
John, I woke up with butterflies this morning, but so did my father. He's nervous because he's got the best players, he's got the best team, and because he's expected to win. He's nervous in spite of the fact that he's a living legend.
Dad, earlier this year against Clemson, you got win number 300. That puts you in the company of Bear Bryant, Joe Paterno, Pop Warner, and Amos Alonzo Stagg. How does that make you feel?
Well, actually, I'm really only in the company of Joe Paterno. The other 3 are dead.
Well, how does it make you feel anyway to be the top 5 in coaching football?
Oh, it makes you feel thankful that you've been able to live long enough for that to happen.
You became a head football coach in 1955, and you've been in the top 4 the last 13 years. You turned 70 years old this year. I sent you a birthday card, don't forget. How much longer can you do this?
If you'd asked me 15 years ago, what will I be doing when I'm 70? I'd say, well, I'll be over Europe somewhere traveling around, you know? But here I am 70 and I absolutely have no desire to retire. So the answer to it is health. If my health stays good, I don't want to quit coaching, you know? And at the same time, I've got to win enough ball games because I don't want to go through the losing season.
What qualities or similarities do you see from athletes from today and back when you first became a coach?
Well, I think you go back to some of your intangibles. In other words, that kid better be willing to sacrifice. You better have a guy that's a team man. Now, that's a hard thing to get nowadays, team man. They like to hear, hey, this is an I formation, coach. We ain't no team, we're I, you know. No, you better be a team. Well, you still, just like Virginia Tech, the thing that scares me so much about them, they are a team, and it ain't hard to spot, you know. We better be one, and we get run right out of the stadium.
I know how Bobby Bowden feels because he's my father, but I also know how Frank Beamer feels because I've been a coach. He's loose, he's relaxed, he's the underdog, and he's ready to play this game. He knows they can win this game, but he still goes back to Blacksburg, a hero. His players, on the other hand, they're uptight. They've never been in this atmosphere before, and this may be their only chance to win a national championship.
If anyone for Virginia Tech, any of their fans said we expected to be in this game, they're lying. We know that because they've been around us all week long saying, do we have a chance? Do we have a chance? Do they have a chance?
They have a great chance, but relax, Dad. The Noles by field goal.
Frank Beamer has said it all week long as well. No one remembers who finishes number 2. When we come back to New Orleans, the player introductions, the championship is coming up.
If 1999 went by too fast, don't worry. We have it all on tape.
At free safety from Vienna, Virginia, number 14, Nick Sorensen. At rover from Mays Landing, New Jersey, number 16, Corey Bird. At cornerback from Orlando, Florida, number 3, Ike Charlton. At cornerback from Clewiston, Florida, number 9, Anthony Midget. And outside linebacker from Bel Air, Ohio, number 40, Ben Taylor. And inside linebacker from Blackstone, Virginia, number 43, Michael Hawks. And inside linebacker from Columbia, South Carolina, number 46, Jamel Smith. At defensive end from Springfield, Virginia, number 96, John Engelberger. At defensive tackle from Lynchburg, Virginia, number 77, Carl Bradley. At defensive tackle from Jacksonville, Florida, number 92, Nathaniel Williams. At defensive end from Brownsville, Tennessee, number 56, All-American Corey Moore. Head coach Frank Beamer and the rest of the unbeaten Hokies. Introducing the Florida State offense. At guard from Panama City, Florida, number 68, All-American Jason Whitaker. At center from Miami, number 57, Eric Thomas. At tackle from Monticello, Florida, number 60, Tarlos Thomas. At guard from Eustis, Florida, number 64, Justin Amon. At tackle from Kissimmee, Florida, number 72, Brett Williams. At tight end from Augusta, Georgia, number 85, Ryan Sprague. At tailback from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, number 23, Travis Minor. At fullback from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, number 10, Dan Kendra. At quarterback from St. Paul, Minnesota, number 16, Chris Weinke. At split end from Tallahassee, number 80, Ron Dugans. At split end from Bradenton, Florida, number 9, All-American Peter Warrick. Head coach Bobby Bowden and the rest of the unbeaten Seminoles. Frank Beamer is with Jack, so let's go down below.
Well, Brent, starting wideout, Ricky Hall suffered a broken foot earlier in the week. Coach, he didn't come out and warm up. What's going to be his status?
Well, we think he can play. We're going to find out here in a few minutes.
Now, what's more important, to have him as a wideout or to return punts? He's so deadly.
Well, both. I think we need to try him, though, at wideout first. Make sure he can handle it, and then if he can, maybe we'll get him back there on punt return.
Brent?
Jack, thank you very much. Gary, what about the offense here tonight of the Hokies?
Well, if you look at Virginia Tech, they are really the offense. If Florida State had to pick someone not to play, they would not pick Virginia Tech because it's very similar to Georgia Tech. Remember, Joe Hamilton with his option and mobile quarterback put up 35 points. Michael Vick, if he does it right, is capable of doing that.
How much do they need Hall here tonight, do you think?
I think it's critical. When you look at teams that have beaten Florida State, they've done it with receivers. If Florida State can double team André Davis, they could have problems.
Our officiating crew is from the SEC. Actor John Goodman with the ceremonial coin toss. He's down below with our referee, Steve Shaw.
Virginia Tech You're the visitor. You'll call the toss. Call it in the air. If I drop it, we'll flip it again. Call it loud enough for them to hear you. Tails. He has called a tails. It is a head. Florida State, you've won the toss. You want to defer, right? They're going to defer. It is your choice. You may receive. Virginia Tech will receive. Which goal would you like to defend? All right, turn your backs over here. Virginia Tech over there. Florida State has won the toss and will defer. Virginia Tech will receive.
So now Lynn Swan is with Bobby Bowden, so let's go down below to Lynn.
Thank you, Brent. Coach, question I have is, in this ball game with Chris Weinke leading your team, do you play it close to the vest early, or do you open it up early?
No, we'll open it up. To win the ball game, we're going to try to do what we do the best, Lynn.
There's some tough people on the other side, Michael Vick, Corey Moore. If you had your choice to pick one of them to stop, who would it be?
It would be Vick. Moore's tough enough, but we could put 2 on him or 3 on him and slow him down. The other kid is hard to stop.
Coach, thank you. Good luck this evening.
Thank you, Lynn.
Brent?
Michael Vick and the Hokies will go on the attack here first. So a chance for them to shake whatever jitters might remain for the 19-year-old freshman, the left-hander, the wonderkind, the redshirt freshman, if you will, who has seemed so mature in handling all the pregame hype that has gone on.
Brent, remember this. Championship games are very long games. Both of these teams need to handle the pressure by concentrating on the present tense. Don't worry about the hype or the hoopla. Concentrate about what's going on and focus in on their assignment. That's the best way to play your game.
Here is a story, ladies and gentlemen. Sebastian Janikowski, who came to the United States, Daytona Beach, from Poland. He's a junior. This will be his last collegiate game with Florida State. He was one of several Seminoles who was caught breaking curfew this week. However, unlike several others, he will start tonight because, as Coach Bobby Bowden said, we have international rules for him. So here is Sebastian Janikowski, who is one of the best at putting the ball into the end zone. Another knee. 68% of his kickoffs into the end zone. And now Michael Vick. And we asked Michael, what do you need to do early?
I just want to go out there and move the ball on our first drive. You know, even if we move the ball a couple of yards and, you know, get 2 or 3 first downs, we have to punt. You know, that's all right with me. I think we just have to come out there and make a statement, let them know that they're not going to push us around.
So Michael Vick wanted to make a statement here early. Shayne Stith is his tailback. And a false start right to begin that game. Something that plagued the championship game last year out in Tempe, Arizona. When these fellas take more than a month off, you tend to have that sometimes in the early stages of games like this.
Dead ball foul. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
A negative on the first play of this championship encounter.
Brent, not just in these big games here. Remember, the Orange Bowl, Alabama had 19 penalties in that football game.
Emmett Johnson, who has replaced Hall, comes off to Vick's right. And they do run stiff. Base handoff. And let's meet the Nokia starting lineup for Virginia Tech. Their offensive line, average height 6'4", 289 pounds. They will be called upon to pick up blitzes here tonight. Hall is injured, but he will play. As we heard from the coach, André Davis is the big play man, 100 and 200 meter champion. And in their backfield, they have rushed for almost 2,000 yards and 22 touchdowns, with Stith leading the way. They do have a running back by the name of Andre Kendrick, a changeup back out of Lynchburg. The straight I formation. Vick escapes. Free. All the way to the 39-yard line before for Derek Gibson. Tackles him. A 25-yard gain. Gone are the Butterflies.
Well, there you see right there the wild card in this football game. I mean, it doesn't take a genius. When you have this type of quarterback, you get back out in the pocket, you've got one play, now you've got the second play, the busted play, the on-called play. And Brent, this might be the best running back that ever played. And by the way, he can throw really well.
The best running back at quarterback, right?
You're right. I mean, this guy runs like a running back and throws like a quarterback.
Folks, he could well be the best running back on the field here tonight.
He might be.
From the shotgun for the first time. And again, trying to escape that pressure. Dances back the other way. Quick, strong, powerful, heading for the first down marker. A look at this defense that now knows it has its hands full here tonight. Reynolds, with that speed, is going to have to catch someone who's faster than he is, and that's Michael Vick. The linebackers are led by Tommy Pulley, a junior from Baltimore, with 109 tackles. The secondary was juggled here tonight because Thomas is healthy, Hope is healthy, and that's why they put them out there.
So far, Virginia Tech hasn't blocked anybody. No one's got open. They haven't gained a yard on the called play, and Michael Vick has driven the ball past midfield.
And our first substitution defensively, Sean Key, number 18, checks in at free safety. So it'll be second down and that much for Frank Beamer's Hokies. Here's our senior from Miami, 6'1", 190. He runs the 40 in 4.32. One of the faster Knowles in that backfield.
Offensive coordinator Ricky Bussell has been at Virginia Tech except for 1 year since 1987, the year Frank took over the program.
The Michael Vick-led Hokies near midfield. And the Knowles haven't been able to catch the young quarterback yet. Davis in motion to see what they're going to do. Durden went with him. There's an option look, and Stith on a toss, bolts free. Stith swings inside the 30. Down at the 26-yard line. Brian Allen, but it's 26 more yards and a very impressive opening drive.
You're seeing the Georgia Tech game plan right here. Spread them out, use the play action pass, use the quarterback, and now the sprint option. But look at this cutback. Stith is a big load, and he runs at tacklers. He doesn't try to dance around. He's the real deal, and matched up with Vick, he is a tough load for this Florida State team to handle. You look at the option going to the wide side of the field. There's the pressure, there's the pitch, and look at that cutback. Perfect.
Number 56, Roland Seymour checks in at defensive end. One of those who broke curfew who didn't start. So this is his first play.
Let's take a look at the Dell Game Solutions before everybody thinks I made these up after the game starts. Vick needs Stith, and Stith needs Vick to make this running game go. Both of them are important, and win the broken plays. You've seen it already. That's a big one. For Florida State, it's lock and load. Lock on the wide receivers man-to-man, and load the line of scrimmage to stop the running game, and Michael Vick.
That was fullback Jarrett Ferguson's first carry of the game. Keep this stat in mind. Tech has rushed for 65 yards here, and Florida State only allows 98.8 a game. So keep that one in mind as this evening unfolds. Vick, the left-hander. Plenty of time. Davis on the juggle. Down at the 12-yard line. It is first down, Hokies.
I told you, no stage fright for this guy. Crossing route, the tight end is going to come this way. Davis is coming the other way. Watch the big guy cross. He's trying to pick off. That's that crossing route, the pick route. That's what you do against that bump and run coverage. A lot of crossing routes if you have the time. Michael Vick gives you that time because he gets out of the pocket.
David Warren checks back in at left defensive end for the Knowles. And a whistle prior to the snap.
No idea up here.
Please reset the 25-second clock to 25 seconds. There was no flag.
I didn't see anybody moved. You know, for a guy, Michael Vick said our first drive, we'd like to just make a couple first downs. He may put points on the board.
And remember, they were penalized 5 yards
First play.
prior to the first snap.
Yep.
From the 13-yard line, Stith the tailback. They keep Davis in motion. Here is Stith pounding the middle of that defense of the Noles all the way to the 6-yard line, and a quick attacking left side of the offensive line.
This is the #1 running play. Pulling the guard, isolation play with the fullback. It's an ISO load. Watch the guard. The left guard will pull. Here comes the fullback. They wrap it around and stick it right up there. Tyrone Stith reminds me of an old teammate of mine, Brent. Ernest Viner out of East Carolina.
Ooh, he was a good
that type of a player.
You know, when you got Vick down here, Gary, you can roll out over to the right side. He's such a good runner if they want to put some pressure on the D, but they've had success just running right straight ahead, not getting the speed involved as they do here. And that time, Pulley jumped in from his linebacking spot. Number 29 made the first big defensive play, if you will, for the Noles in this game.
It's a little bit different from Florida State. I don't know, and Mickey Andrews, their defensive coordinator right there, if they face this type of power and speed from the tailback and the quarterback. They face Ronald Curry and Joe Hamilton, passing game and mobile quarterback. This is a power and mobile quarterback.
Seymour back in at left defensive end for Andrews' defense. 3rd and short. Extra running back. And Stith dives toward the first down marker. It'll be close. Beamer waiting for the signal down on the field. And the chains will come out.
Look at that. They're taking the clock down. First drive, very successful, keeping that defense off the field. Over 5 minutes already.
That much for the first down on 4th down.
Well, first decision. I think
Beamer's thinking about it.
I think he sends a message to his team and goes for it.
There is absolutely no indication that he even thought of Shayne Graham on that sideline. Andrews sets his defense, and here we go. Vick, Ferguson, Kendrick, and Stith in the backfield.
Why not a quarterback sneak with the size of that guy?
Might try to pull him off with his count. Doesn't. Hits him fast. Kept the ball. Nothing doing. Fumble. End zone. Florida State covers it. Florida State recovers the 4th down fumble in the end zone. It was Corey Simon, the All-American nose guard, number 53 from Pompano Beach, Florida.
Messed up play, obviously. Looked like they were going to try to run the option, and the ball was kicked right at the end. Watch. It looked like Vick turned the wrong way, and then the ball is kicked back into the end zone. Michael Vick turned the wrong way on the option. Look at that. There's the strip at the end of the play. It was Gibson that stripped the ball, and then watch the kick by Gibson. Didn't try to do it, but it went into the end zone.
The first big break goes Florida State's way, and we're scoreless. Timeout in New Orleans.
Discovered our phones are a lot like pets. They somehow seem to resemble their owners. Nokia. Connecting people.
business, there can be only one priority. At Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, we have never forgotten ours. Not surprisingly, we measure success a little differently.
I'm going with extra pickles.
Pickles? I hate pickles. Onions rule, man. Give me extra onions, no tomatoes.
Tomatoes are key. I mean, pickles and tomatoes are like the yin and yang of the Whopper.
Look, you get your yin and yang and leave my onions alone, okay?
Okay. But you're wrong.
Hey, it's just a choice.
Yeah, and you choose to be wrong.
Oh, I'm Mike.
And I'm Jack. And that's my Whopper. It's my Whopper, and it's my $2.
We've got 3 words to get you hot under the collar. Blue is back. NYPD Blue season premiere next Tuesday on ABC.
What's that old chestnut about big players and big games? Corey Simon, who led the defensive lineman with 84 tackles, including 4 sacks and 21 TFLs, has just made the first big play of this championship game. Now 27-year-old Chris Weinke, his chance for that ring that he could not compete for last year. And it is the handoff to Travis Minor out to the 25-yard line. How much does it mean to Chris Weinke, and how satisfying is it, we asked him, to have this opportunity here tonight to play?
I told myself that I was going to rehab for 8 months, or however long it took me, to come back for this opportunity to play for a national championship. I've got that opportunity today, you know, I don't want to leave that ring in New Orleans. I don't want to give it to anybody else.
And he completes his first pass. And Peter Warrick has now tied his reception output of last year at the Fiesta Bowl as the Seminoles keep going without the huddle here. And now they will regroup. Now they'll draw back, and a substitution package. Kendra leads the way.
Brent,
Gary.
you're right. They wanted to go no huddle, but because of the 3rd and short, it forced them into a different type of grouping in this football game.
Here's Peter Warrick and what he has done in big games, and already he's come up with that one fake toss, and Weinke rolling in Warrick's direction. He's got him one-on-one. Can he get him off into the middle of the field? Warrick goes up. Got it. Fumble, no, incomplete. Peter Warrick let one get away in the early going.
Both teams on short yardage plays tried to go for the big play. One-on-one, hey, this is the matchup. You're All-American against Charlton, the guy that did, the guy that did all of the talking in this football game to start with. The ball's up, you would expect your All-American receiver to make that catch. Good hit at the end of it by Anthony Midget, but
Ike
that
Charlton,
went for everything.
excuse me, but Ike Charlton standing back deep with Hall being injured. And the punter, Keith Cottrell, is a good one. These two have met before in high school. It's a low punt. High bounce. Couldn't escape the headhunter. Down at the 30-yard line, a 44-yard punt, a 2-yard return, and a hit by Malcolm Tatum. Timeout.
People are beginning to think of the automobile not just as a family vehicle, but as a personal and individual means of transportation.
The throb of a powerful engine. Now for a moment imagine yourself as driver of this automobile. You really have to drive it. At the Chrysler Proving Ground, give them an expressway and their drivers are willing.
I think we've made the scenic back roads fun to drive.
Or give them any country or suburban road, rough or smooth. They're the type of people who like the feel of a flying machine.
Who love to drive. The renowned engineers of Chrysler.
A minimum of ornamentation and a minimum of chrome moldings.
She's a regular firecracker. The sounds of nature sing their prettiest over the rich, throaty obligato of his engine.
Even sheet metal can have a soul.
And they give you back the romance of driving.
And that is why these.
Foster, the defensive coordinator, talking to his troops over there on the sideline as Michael Vick and the offense get ready for their second series. And remember, the first time they drove 10 plays, 73 yards, 9 of them were running plays. You got to believe they've got to get 88 into this attack soon. And Vick rolls hard, left-handed, incomplete. They tried to hit Davis, and a reminder that ABC kicks off the NFL playoffs. Bruce Smith, the former Hokie, and the Buffalo Bills head to Nashville to face the red-hot Tennessee Titans and running back Eddie George. Game 1 of our wild card doubleheader. It'll begin at 12 Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, all part of Super January on ABC, culminating with the Super Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia. 2nd down and 10.
A defense with the lock and load. Look at, here's the lock down here. 2 guys, man-to-man all over the field, load up at the top.
A late pitch, stiff. Driven out of bounds that time is Sean Key, number 18, the senior from Miami, puts a pad to him.
The option play will simplify the Florida State defense. Remember Ralph Friedgen, great coach, coach of the year. Ricky Bussell, Ralph Friedgen, they know each other. They've talked to each other on the phone. 35 points. How'd you do it, Ralph? You were the coach of the year. Spread them out, run the option, and then it'll simplify. That's what Frank Beamer told Ricky Bussell, and Ricky Bussell is getting into this game now.
Terrell Parham, number 86, one of the wideouts for Virginia Tech on 3rd down. Stith, 1st down. Gary, I guess my question to you is this: can he keep it up through an entire 4 quarters against the defense?
This guy has carried the ball a lot all year. He's a workhorse. Plus, they have Andre Kendrick, their backup, who has also carried the ball this year a number of times. And this is 2 guys that can put yards on and attack the line of scrimmage. If you're a good running back, you trust your offensive line, that hole will be there. That's why Stith is hitting that line full speed.
Here's 1st down, and they keep him lined up in that I formation with the fullback Ferguson in front of him. Play fake, and they bring the wide receiver off the corner to get the ball in number 18's hands, Emmett Johnson. The Nokia Sugar Bowl is interactive with ABC's Enhanced TV. Get real-time stats and more while you watch the game. Log on to ESPN.com or ABC.com right now while you watch this game. And we have a flag down on the field.
Five-yard face mask on the defense. 5 yards from the end of the run. 1st down.
He spotted on a previous play Michael Vick. Yeah, Brian Allen right there. Get off me, and I think that was Michael Vick. Bring it on. Nope, that wasn't Michael Vick. That was Brian Allen. Got a little hit on Jarrett Ferguson, number 27.
And Ferguson, the hard-hitting lead fullback, has probably been banging into those linebackers pretty good the way this running game is working. Stith has rushed for 46 yards. It's trapped on the end around, tries to dance free. When he turned to hand the ball off, he almost put it in a Seminole's belly.
Well, that's how the game started. And you can see Virginia Tech knew it was going to be that way, and that's why this game plan has been so open. We've seen bootlegs, we've seen options, we've seen reverses. They know that if you come against this Florida State defense with a one-pitch offense, just a fastball, they'll eat you up.
Tommy Pulley again coming hard for the Knoll defense. From the gun. Trying to dance, and he won't, because number 44, Bradley Jennings, the sophomore from Miami, is too fast and won't let him out.
You see Michael Vick, he wants to stay in the pocket. He wants to be a drop-back passer. Because of that, Pete Bussell, the coordinator, is going to have to force him to get out of the pocket with calls. You've got a defense that tries to keep him in there. You've got a quarterback that wants to prove he's a drop-back passer. So now the calls has to force him out of the pocket and do it on the run.
3rd and 12. The big play, fellas, number 88. They have to find a way to get it into the speedster's hands. He's off to the top of your screen, left side of the formation. Penalty flag on the play. And Vick dances free. Battling for the first down spot. But there is a flag. You know, it's interesting when you think of the fact that Michael Vick is a freshman who is taking on this Florida State defense here today. And certainly he has attacked with his feet as we await Shaw's decision. It is against Vick, but let's go back and show you what these quarterbacks did. Now, remember, as freshmen, remember, Joe Hamilton played a great game as a senior. To go back to '96, he got knocked down, knocked out, hung in, was only 4 of 11. Tommy Frazier did pretty good for Nebraska at '93. Danny Werfel, injured and knocked out, came back later as a senior to win a national championship. Bernie Kosar, Gary, your old buddy, he probably did the best of all.
He did, but it took him that one game to really get the feel of this football team before he really got that game and won the national championship later for that football team. You know, he was coming into that Florida State game. You can't simulate this type of speed and size that Florida State brings.
As a result of the mistake, it is 3rd and 17. The Hokies need to reach the 30-yard line. Davis still going in motion.
Watch it.
He has to dance away. Now he fires for Davis. What a throw. Oh, baby, what a strike as he finally gets it to Davis. 18 yards. But did you see that rocket launcher?
And did you see the beginning of it? This guy throws so well with flat footed. Watch his footwork in the pocket. Davis is to the outside coming across. Watch him dive. Get it out of the way and throw it. Doesn't even step. He is so good at getting rid of that ball without stepping. In fact, Brent, I think he's a little more accurate and a little more effective when he doesn't step into his throws. He just throws them flat-footed.
The first appearance by number 82, Ricky Hall. He's off to the left side of the formation. He broke a bone in his foot. His first snap of the game. Stith taken on aggressively at the line of scrimmage. Tommy Pulley again, the junior from Baltimore, and he's been all over that line of scrimmage.
My feeling going into this game is no matter what Coach Bobby Bowden said to this Florida State football team, he couldn't convince them that this was Tennessee or Nebraska. They couldn't believe that Virginia Tech could have enough athletes to play with it. Believe me now, they believe this team can compete with them.
Frank brings Hall back over to the sideline. Davis is out to the left. Johnson's down to the right. Second down and 11. Deflected. And incomplete as Warren, David Warren out of Tyler, Texas, breaks across the line of scrimmage and got a paw.
Very difficult for a left-handed quarterback to get it by this guy. It's a little easier for a right-handed quarterback. He comes out, now his left hand is closer to the line of scrimmage, and he lets that thing go, and this paw right here gets it out of it. Look at that. Now, if he was right-handed, he had a little better angle to get it by that defensive end.
Third and 11. Vick surveys the defense. Andrews shows blitz. Coming after him, and he's in trouble. That's the second sack of Michael Vick by the Knowles here today. Some of the fellas get tangled up down there.
Excuse me. First all-out blitz by Florida State. They bring 8 people, man-to-man to the outside. Gibson going to come right here up the gut. That's the guy that isn't blocked. Look at him come. No way you can dance around that one.
Gary, that's what Donnie Nealon did when I was looking at the West Virginia tape. They would gang up on the shotgun in 3rd and long, and West Virginia came with 8. And remember, the Mountaineers are the team that pushed the Hokies to the wall and almost won the game. So Florida State obviously took a long, long look at tapes of that game. 4th and long now, and here's the punt by Jimmy Kibble. He's a good one. Look at that, but right off the body of a Hokie, a 38-yard punt. They are marking it down right there, the officials.
This is a touchback.
And now the signal that it's coming back out to the 20. So let's take a break here. We are scoreless in the BCS championship game at the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
How do you measure success? Presenting iChoice from Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, a dynamic new financial program that lets you achieve your success your way. How do you measure success? At Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, we measure success one investor at a time.
Hey, did you see my game-winning catch? Unbelievable. Yeah, triple overtime. But with 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls, it's a low rate, no matter when I need a ride home. Whoa! Dial down the middle. 1-800-CALLATT.
For a low rate every minute, everywhere, dial 1-800-CALL-ATT.
Hey, kid, catch.
Gee, thanks, ATT, man.
Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
The 300 has always been built for people who love to drive.
They're the type of people who like the feel of a flying machine.
It's a car America can be proud of.
At the heart of it.
Tonight's aerial facilities are provided by Nokia. And inside the Louisiana Superdome, we get Chris Weinke and the Noles with their second series. Jeff Chaney, who was very effective against Florida and is a little bit better receiver than Travis Minor, checks in. And Weinke walks right up to the line to identify where the defenders are standing. And that's the experience of Chris Weinke, recognizing what he was looking at. The blocking is called, and Weinke's pass is incomplete.
Let's take a look at the Dell Game Solutions for Florida State on offense. It's going to be spread the field and play a little one-on-one. Find a guy and throw it. And they want to make Minor, Travis Minor, a major. Weinke needs some help. Virginia Tech, it's hide, hinder, and hit. Hide your intentions before the snap, hinder the pass routes and Weinke, and hit both of them all game.
From the gun, incomplete, misfiring that time for Ron Dugans. He'd gone to Jermaine Stringer first. His only completion was 3 yards, and that was to Peter Warrick. And we asked Weinke if he had freedom to change all the plays at the line of scrimmage tonight.
A big part of our offense is going up to the line of scrimmage without a play. No one knows the play. I'll put us into the right play once I try to read the defense. So there is a lot of freedom, probably more freedom than a lot of college kids in terms of running the offense.
The advantage you get with a veteran. Over the middle, high. At the 35-yard line, he comes back to Dugans for the first down, a 15-yard gain. There's the calmness, Gary, of Weinke, too, after misfiring on the previous pass.
And you have to do that. If you're a passing team, you can't lose confidence in your passing game or your receivers. It's just the first quarter to this game. Just keep going out. That's where that baseball mentality for Chris Weinke comes through. You experience a lot of failure in baseball.
1st and 10. Pump fake. Looking home run again. Hello, Mr. Warrick. In a foot race. Hello, end zone. Knowles strike first. "64 yards. Weinke to Warrick. Two youngsters driven by different motivations here tonight, and both determined to help Bobby Bowden finish his first ever unbeaten season and win his second championship. Sebastian Janikowski, the left-footed specialist from Poland, on the field. And the king of Bourbon Street makes it 7-0.
It's a slant with a skinny post. Peter Warrick is matched up to the outside of the formation. Right here, watch him come in and then skinny post it. Nick Sorensen, an ex-quarterback, is the mismatch. That's who they're going after, the free safety right there. They know that Sorensen doesn't have the speed to get there. You spread the field, you look for your mismatch, and you attack the mismatch.
Florida State leads Virginia Tech 7-0.
Many people say that hops are the spice of beer. At Budweiser, we hand select the hops we use from both Europe and the United States. Our brewmasters will blend between 10 and 12 different varieties of hops together to make a single brew. And that exact measurement and that exact blend imparts the very distinct flavor characteristics of Budweiser.
Combat Rangers. They're rough, they're tough, they're battle-tested. They're lean, mean fighting machines. When there's a battle to be won, Combat Rangers get the job done. Making backyards safe for democracy.
Now, tell me why they're wearing dresses?
The commander uniforms didn't arrive from China.
That's because you picked the wrong shipping company.
Next time, use the only U.S. Express shipper with direct routes from China, FedEx. Be absolutely sure.
Matching night vision tiara sold separately.
Come on, girls. Buddy, let's go.
Hello? Now we're almost there. Bye-bye.
What the Noles do best, partner.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And look to the unspoken communication between the quarterback. There it is. You got to have the slant. You got to fake the slant. And there's the skinny post. And you do it against the slowest defender, a guy who played quarterback. I know us quarterbacks. We can't play free safety against Peter Warrick.
So Shayne Stith goes back deep, but he probably won't get a return if Janikowski kicks it true to his form. Hangs this one a little bit short. Returnable. Stith coming out. Their best running back. Powerfully to the 24. Time now to take a look at our Nokia best connection. Let's go back to the 1995 Sugar Bowl. Virginia Tech was here against Texas. Brian Still, a 60-yard punt return for a TD. That was Tech's first score of the game. They went on to score 28 unanswered points. They beat Texas 28-10. And according to Coach Beamer, that was their biggest game ever until tonight.
Brent, first drive for the Hokies, 9 plays, 70 yards. Their last drive, 7 plays, 13 yards. Florida State's getting the feel of the game.
Staying in that base I formation. Andre Kendrick running back. And let's check in with Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, after the Virginia Tech Hokies got burned by that Peter Warrick pass, Bud Foster, their defensive coordinator, gathered the whole defense around and told them, look, it's only one play. And he says, remember what our credo is here. We take it one play at a time. Don't worry about it. We'll go back out and we'll make up for it next chance.
Bud Foster, outstanding defensive coordinator, ladies and gentlemen. He has done a great job. Steve Spurrier wanted him down in Gainesville, but he was so loyal. There's a missed snap. Vick running for his life, going in the wrong direction, and that's probably intentional grounding for sure. I did not see an eligible receiver, and now the referee throws the flag, and the Hokies will be penalized.
See, Michael Vick, he's holding his left wrist after he threw that football, too. That's why you got to be a gladiator.
On the offense.
That was
being forced at the spot of the foul. Loss him down, 3rd down.
That was Jamal Reynolds. He's the fastest of the defensive linemen, number 58 for Florida State. Folks, as a defensive lineman, he runs a 4.43 40. He's a junior from Aiken, South Carolina.
Don't know what happened, but Michael Vick was not at all prepared for that snap. Sometimes the center calls the snap, but the quarterback has to let the center know that he's ready for the snap.
Gary, that was a loss of 20 yards.
And not only that, Brent, you got to look at this left wrist for Michael Vick.
Cullen Hawkins, the fullback. There's the pitch to Kendrick, and he is swarmed all over by the Noles defense. This Sunday, the wait is over. All new episodes of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire starting at 9, 8 Central on ABC. Tonight at halftime, we've got someone who wants to be a millionaire. In fact, we may give away $2 million here tonight, Regis, right. So take that.
You know, I agree with Jack. It was just...
On the offense, penalty is declined. 4th down.
Yeah, more and more penalties for Virginia Tech. You know, I agree with Jack. It was just one play, but it was quite a play, though. And when you get bombed like that and it kind of takes apart your game plan, everything you've been working for to stay deep and not let Michael Vick do it, that could cause problems.
Reggie Durden is back deep, but don't be surprised if the Noles don't bring a little heat here on Jimmy Kibble. He's an outstanding punter, but this team can really front run. They got it. Scooped up for the touchdown. Florida State on a block punt with Jeff Chaney. Their backup running back, picking up the block punt and dashing into the end zone. And now, look out.
Brent, 2 programs that turned around by blocking kicks. Florida State did it first. Frank Beamer copied that guy right there and emphasized kick blocking. You're so right. That can get a game out of hand quickly.
Tommy Pulley was down there in the middle of things. I don't know if he deflected it. Certainly Chaney scored, and now Janikowski makes it 14-0. There is Pulley being congratulated over there on the sideline. So from all indications, the linebacker.
Coming right at you. Good snap, coming right up the gut. And it was Tommy Pulley. That's who got it, the linebacker. This has to be disheartening. The 2 things that Virginia Tech thought they would be able to do well is not give up the big pass play, especially to Peter Warrick, and not get kicks blocked. Tommy Pulley, who announced that he's coming back. He says he needs 1 more year to play to be the linebacker he wants to be.
Freshman with his work cut out now. Janikowski pounds this one to the end zone, folks. Well, we told you that ABC kicks off the NFL playoffs. Bruce Smith and the Buffalo Bills head to Nashville to face the red-hot Tennessee Titans and running back Eddie George. Now, also during that game, ABC is going to announce the starting lineups for the 2000 NHL All-Star Game during the broadcast. Of course, that's North America versus the world. Those of you who follow the NHL, you know that North America is going to have to stop Pavel Bure of the Florida Panthers. Now, you just know. You got some Red Wings that can join my Panther up there?
It's finally hockey season. It's January.
And getting closer by the snap down here, my friend, on my head. First down and 10. Going downfield is Vick, wants Johnson. There was contact, penalty flag. Durden pushed his hands into him, and I think they had lost contact with the football.
Reggie Durden panicked right at the end of that play. A 15-yard penalty.
Pass interference on the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Let's go down to Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, remember on that last offensive series, Michael Vick was complaining with his left hand. It was right down here in the thumb area. When he came off, the trainers looked at it, and Michael Vick refused treatment. He went to the headset to be debriefed by Ricky Bussell and went back out. He still has had nothing done to that area.
Fake from Vick. The floater downfield, and look at Andre Davis, and he underthrew it. One of the few times I've seen him underthrow a receiver that bad. Now I am really wondered about that thumb, Gary. I've never seen him underthrow a receiver or throw a lollipop like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's two of them. The last one was not well thrown either. And Andre Davis, well, he was in the open by about 5 yards and gaining on the play. Maybe he didn't want Michael Vick, anybody to look at it because he knew something was wrong with it.
Remember the graphic we showed everybody on what happens when freshman quarterbacks play this defense. Call our friend Joe Hamilton up there at Georgia Tech and ask him. Call Danny Werfel right here in New Orleans. In fact, he might even be at this game here tonight, come to think of it. 2nd down and 10. It's a tough night. Now stiff, hard-hitting running back. In trouble. You cannot cut back against this defense. There's another penalty flag down. Sean Key makes the stop, but there is more yellow.
I think 2 plays have lost the focus of Virginia Tech. The fumble in the end zone and the long pass to Peter Warrick. Virginia Tech has lost focus.
5-yard face mask on the defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. We'll repeat 2nd down.
Oh, well, let's throw in a 3rd one. The block punt for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
That's a killer.
That's when you lose focus. You got to block at least from inside out and make that block come from the outside. The hand is the big story in the game. You cannot beat Florida State just running the ball. You have to attack the bump and run.
Well, Gary, also, it's pretty much been the base I formation against this team. Do you know how many formations Steve Spurrier used in the first half alone against these guys? You have got to try to influence them with formations and a lot of motion and things like that. That's just from the fellas who have played against this kind of speed on defense.
Part of the story, I think, there, Brent, is not having Ricky Hall. It has limited them. Taking their 3rd receiver, he's already in the game, Emmett Johnson. So you go down to your 4th guy and go 3 wideouts, that's tough.
Gary, what about if they have to, and I hate to even mention this at this stage in the game, and probably shouldn't, but what about Dave Meyer if they have to go to their backup quarterback?
Watch Dave Meyer. He's a drop-back passer.
On the defense, 5-yard penalty. It'll be a 1st down.
There's Ricky Hall.
You know, the game is played at a different pace, especially on a carpet. When you're matched against a defense with as much speed, Corey Simon down there in the middle. He's the fellow who recovered the loose ball in the end zone, made the first big play on that opening drive, an All-American nose guard. He came back his senior year for a shot to win the championship. The gun, the pump fake, and dropped in underneath, and they used the fullback, Jarrett Ferguson. The Noles were concerned about that, but we did have a chance to ask Corey Simon now. How do you think Vick will handle the speed of your defense?
I like to think that he hasn't seen the speed that we have on this team. You know, a lot has been said this week by Virginia Tech players about our speed, but, you know, it's one thing to watch them on television, but it's another thing to play against it.
It is awesome speed all across the line with this team.
And it's not just speed, it's speed with size. They got a fast defense for Virginia Tech, but not with this type of size.
2nd down and 3, and Vick straight back going deep. He's got his man open. He's got Davis. Got him. Touchdown. The home run hitter comes through. Andre Davis just motors past Cleveland Thomas, and it's a 49-yard scoring strike. And does that play ever lift the spirits of the Hokies, their coaches, and their fans?
Brent, he was that open on the play when he threw the knuckleball. He ran by Thomas like one guy was a sprinter and one guy was running backwards. It was a 5-yard beat. It's 15 yards down the field.
Shayne Graham adds the extra point, and they cut that deficit in half. You said speedster. He did look like a track man. He is. He's the Atlantic 10 champion at 100 and 200 meters. I mean, he can flat fly.
And there he is, matched up, lock and load. You have to attack it. And look at the room out here. He gives the quarterback, Michael Vick, to throw it in the box out there. When you do that as a receiver, you give that quarterback an easy throw, you fade to it, perfect strike on the deep ball. That was real easy.
Here, that'll be there all night long.
Oh yeah, you got to. If you're playing Florida State and you let them take your wide receivers out of the game simply by playing bump and run, you lose. You have to attack that coverage.
80 yards in 3 plays.
You think if you get beat that badly one time, you might try to anticipate the guy going deep. Throws a duck for an incompletion and comes back and throws a touchdown.
Just a huge play for Michael Vick to André Davis. Kibble, their punter, handles the kickoff duties. Jermaine Stringer and Nick Maddox, the freshman running back, deep for the Noles. And Kibble responds to Janikowski's challenge. It'll come out on the 20-yard line.
Florida State offense has to be licking their chops. Last time they were on the field, they get the long pass. Now they get back out on the field and saying, it's our turn, our serve. Chris Weinke says, you just let me mark Rick, the offensive coordinator, right there in the middle. Give me a chance to spread out the field. I'll find the mismatch.
Final seconds of our opening quarter here in New Orleans. Big plays galore. Weinke, a one-hopper. Let's go down to Lynn Swan. Lynn.
Well, Brent, last year when the Florida State Seminoles played in the Fiesta Bowl, they were concerned about the long layoff. This year they had one more day in that layoff between the last game and the bowl game. They changed their routine up, and the emphasis on this year's training camp coming in the bowl game was to make sure they didn't have the rust and the timing. That pass to Warrick showed that they still have the timing. They want to keep their drives going right here, Brent.
Inside handoff, but there is a penalty flag. Jamel Smith making the stop, but the flag was thrown. Travis Minor, the ball carrier.
Brent, as you look at the penalty against Virginia Tech, already Bud Foster has put in the substitutes in this football game. Corey Moore went out to start this series. Darius Monroe, a backup defensive end, has come in. They thinking long term. If you're the defensive coordinator, you know you're going to need Corey Moore to rush in the fourth quarter.
Neutral zone, 5-yard penalty, second down.
They are outstanding with the cadence count at Florida State.
And they will mix it up in this football game because they're going to use the silent count. They will come up occasionally against that defense for Tech and have no call. They'll fake the snap count a few times and try to see what Virginia Tech is doing, then call an audible, and then snap the ball.
Moore with only one tackle in the opening quarter, so the Noles are doing an outstanding job against Corey. Tackle pushes him outside. They run up. They use his speed to their advantage. They design the play to bring him upfield. Then they slide in underneath. Hawks makes the stop. The first quarter comes to an end. We had 3 touchdowns. Warrick started it. Then it was the blocked punt by Pulley. Cheney for the score. Finally, Davis responds. We'll continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
You're watching ABC Sports coverage of the national championship, the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
So Virginia Tech down by 14 responds with a 49-yard touchdown pass to André Davis. And now we start the second quarter, and it is 14-7. Florida State with the lead. Andy Bowden looking on from the sideline here. 1st and 10 for his offense. Complete. Well, Charles Schwab will make a contribution to the scholarship funds to each of the universities represented in the Bowl Championship Series, the BCS. And of course, this is the BCS title game. The two teams that were ranked numbers 1 and 2. Ron Dugans making his second catch.
Florida State still going with 4 wide receivers. Virginia Tech has their regular base people in there. Linebackers and safeties trying to match up.
Minor, and it is read perfectly by Jamel Smith. Let's take you back a few days ago. Let's talk now about Corey Moore, their All-American defensive end. Take a listen to this.
Look, I'm going to tell you one time and one time only. Get the camera out of my face, I'm going to punch you. I'm not kidding. I'm telling you, I'm going to punch you.
All year, he's been their emotional leader. He was trying to tell his team, we're not backing up from anything. I think he said that after the fact, though.
3rd down and 3. Weinke gun. Got Dugans, breaks free. They won't catch him, I don't believe. A defender with the angle. Can't get there too fast. Dugans, 63 yards on the quick strike. And Florida State goes back up by 2 touchdowns.
It's spread them out, find the matchup, play one-on-one football. The matchup this time was Dugans against a linebacker slash safety to the outside. Boom, Midget takes go for it. You see number 40, Ben Taylor, come across. Midget gets beat inside. You see the safety linebacker can't get there for help. Mismatch.
Janikowski again. Against the team ranked number 1 in the NCAA in scoring defense, the Florida State Seminoles put 21 points on the board early in the second quarter.
By the way, perfect throw. You talk about a strike right in there. Not bad coverage, but the linebacker, Ben Taylor, couldn't get there.
Mr. Vick, it is your turn. Weinke now 5 of 9 for 153 yards and his second touchdown pass, and he's gone deep. He's played long ball, but Vick has gone deep once, and remember, he has the fastest of all the wide receivers here tonight.
Well, he's proven that, hasn't he? Right back there. Football game. Both teams finding out the other team came to play and have some people that can make plays.
Well, I think Corey Moore might be a little shell-shocked from what they're doing down there in the trenches, well, because they've got a plan against him. They're
quick
chipping on him
and run right at him when he comes upfield.
And using backs to pick him up if he gets free. Kickoff, and they're coming out with Stiff. Breaks free. You said he looked like Ernest Minor. It looks like he's got a heart like Ernest had as he powers out to the 33-yard line. A reminder, coming up on the National Car Rental Halftime Report, something special. John Saunders and Terry Bowden are going to be joined by Clemson head coach Tommy Bowden, Terry's brother, and the University of Miami's Butch Davis, 2 coaches who have faced both Florida State and Virginia Tech this season. And Virginia Tech alum and current Buffalo Bill Bruce Smith is going to join. That should be some show. You had breakfast with the Bowdens.
I had the breakfast with all 3 boys, and I'm proud to say I didn't pay. They all make more money than I do.
Kendrick, the running back, after the fine return by Stiff. He's buried in the middle of the line with Jerry Johnson, the senior from Fort Pierce, Florida. That's down West Palm Beach way.
I think Mickey Andrews would like to get in a position where he could blitz, but when you see Davis, that speedster, go deep, one play changed the game, you know, well, on one hand, I know the blitz will get there, but on the other hand, I don't like my matchup out on the outside with that guy.
Emmett Johnson's 18. He runs a 4.42. But number 88 runs a 4.29.
Don't hold him that way.
Dancing. Now firing. High, incomplete. Davis was defended, and there is a penalty flag thrown. On the 46-yard line, there's a penalty flag. Thomas was working against Andre Davis that time, and let's see who this is on. Yes, it's against the offense. I could tell by the celebration on the Noel sideline.
Exactly. Look at quick out to the outside. You see the receiver going in motion to this side on the top. They try to run a quick out this time, go long ones. Look at the help deep. That allowed the corner to come underneath the throw. Vick had nowhere to go. Watch how this thing good. Hey, this is kind of cool. You got both guys in. I can watch this all day like this. 2 wide receivers. And then right at the end, you get the shove when the ball's in the air. Brent, I wish they looked that close together.
Looking at that, it was almost like Andre was intent on pushing it.
Well, once the ball didn't go, I think he's blocking downfield thinking Vick's going to run the ball.
Okay, sure. That's what that was. Exactly. That's why it looked that way. Let's go to Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, Shyrone Stiff, their running back for the Virginia Tech Hokies, is icing down his right knee. It's slightly sprained. They're going to try and work on it here and send him back out. But now you're playing with one less wheel at 100%.
Yeah, and that is a big wheel, too, Jack. We don't have to tell anybody that. Been watching
they've got a great
200-pound junior out of Chesapeake, Virginia. That would be just an enormous loss. They come back with the inside handoff to Cullen Hawkins. Well, now it's time for the Aflac trivia question. And other than if you got any tickets, this is the question I've been asked more than anything else. What is a Hokie? They are the Virginia Tech Hokies. And we'll come back with the answer to our Aflac trivia question on what is a Hokie later in the broadcast.
Florida State now has countered. They got their backup linebackers in the football game as Mickey Andrews says, I want to rest my guys also.
Need 23 here, Gary. Vick buys time, fires high, tipped, incomplete. And Virginia Tech forced to punt.
That's the play Michael Vick has to make to win this football game. Coming out of the pocket, he buys extra time. Look at these defensive ends come upfield. Offensive linemen push him right by. There's Vick. Now make a play. Make a play. Throws it high.
And the Noles going for the juggler. Here's Peter Warrick back to return this punt. And Pulley blocked the last punt. Shayne scooped it up and scored a touchdown. The second touchdown by the Noles. And so he rushes this one. That sometimes happens after a block punt. One hop. Warrick says, let's go. And alley. 40-yard line. In a race. Won't catch him. Hello, end zone. A 59-yard punt return for a touchdown. Let's go back to the top of the broadcast. The coaching staff at Florida State said we have got to find more ways to get the ball into number 9's hands than we did last year out in Tempe. Job well done so far.
Brent picks it up off the bounce. Peter Warrick's only touched the ball 2 times in this game, just like last year. The only difference from last year, 2 touches, 2 touchdowns in this football game.
That was a great block by Malcolm Tatum, who has been a terror on special teams. Number 3 really opened the door for Warrick. Janikowski adds the punt. How good is this return? This is the first punt return for a touchdown against Virginia Tech since September 17th, 1988. That's over a decade. And now Florida State opening up huge daylight, 28-7.
There's no better time than now to get the good life at Sears. So don't miss out on the best time to buy.
Every day, Ford Outfitters, no boundaries, and Sears and the Sears National Champion Football Trophy.
With Gary Danielson, Jack Arute, and Lynn Swan, I'm Brent Musburger. The Nokia Sugar Bowl for the national championship. And right now, it is all Florida State. They lead it 28-7, and Peter Warrick with 2 touchdowns tonight.
And right here's Randy Moss, his old roommates right there from Florida State. Imagine that, 2 freshmen, Peter Warrick and Randy Moss. I don't know what's scarier, the football playing or them being roommates.
That's the line of the night so far. It's a high kickoff, and Kendrick is coming out. Big hole. Now it's Kendrick's turn. To the nose, 37-yard line, a 63-yard return for Kendrick.
Kendrick, the backup running back, is going to take it right up the gut, right up the gap. Couple good blocks, he sets up a couple good blocks, and then he explodes. A high school quarterback, passed for 4,000 yards in high school. Frank Beamer fell in love with the guy, said he's a runner, a winner. We'll find a place for him. They found a place for him as a backup running back.
Remember, he has to play right now because Jack told us that Stiff is out with that injury. So after running 63 yards, he probably said in that huddle, Michael, you keep it. Do something else on this play.
It's going to be a pass.
First down and 10. If I was the Bills, I'd be looking for Vick right now. Here he comes, rolling hard left, drop it, and the tight end reaches back and makes the catch, stumbles at the 30-yard line. Browning Wynn, the sophomore from Jonesville, Virginia, his first catch. Sunday on ABC. Dorothy Hamill leads a team of the USA's elite skaters against the world's best. The lovely Michelle Kwan, Todd Eldridge, and Elvis Stoico put their reputations on the ice in the Kerry Lotion USA versus the World Figure Skating Challenge Sunday at 4 Eastern, 3 Pacific, all part of Super January on ABC, culminating with the Super Bowl in Atlanta. Can I cheer for one person to get to the Super Bowl? Is it okay if I do that?
You can have your old partner.
Come on.
If I ever get there, just cheer for me.
Dick Vermeil and I did Florida State at the Sugar Bowl a few years back. Here comes Michael Vick in trouble. Dances free. Great balance. And that is the 3rd sack. Well, earlier, folks, we asked you the Aflac trivia question. What is a hokey? We don't know. Jackaroo, you got the answer for us, partner?
Actually, a hokey is nothing. It's a word from a cheer that was founded in 1896 by a student. He wrote it, won $5 in a contest. Through the years, though, the Hokies have been known as the Fighting Gobblers. They've had turkeys as mascots. Now they have a Hokie bird. Now, the one thing that's always happened is they've kind of thought that maybe it was a turkey. That's the noisemaker that the Hokies use.
Gobble, gobble, my friend. 3rd down. Vick throws high on the run. And Davis may have crashed into something over there on the side. There may have been a stanchion. I'm not sure what it was.
It looks like the field goal kickers.
Let's go quickly back to Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, surrounding the 25-yard line are these stanchions, because this is an NFL area, and that is what was here, standing up, and Davis ran into it.
That's what he ran into right there.
Listen, Jack, I've been on sidelines, though, where I haven't seen that, to tell you the truth. I mean, I've stood on NFL sidelines where I don't necessarily see that standing there. That's a little dangerous for me. 51-yard. Let's see now.
See the end of it. Hits it, rolls over, go right into it.
So this will be a 51-yard field goal attempt for Shayne Graham. It's the fake. Fumble. Knowles have got it.
Caleb Herb is the holder, going to run the option to the outside. Ugh. Don't like that. A tight end running an option to a kicker. Against this type of speed, it better work perfectly, because if it doesn't, those guys are going to close very quickly.
And indeed, they did close. Even on the pitch, it looked like me anyway, like he was defended. So it's 28-7, and it'll be Florida State's ball next. Timeout.
Ladies and gentlemen, your starting 5'7" Patrick Ewing, 6'11" Marcus Camby, 6'7".
They forgot to change the
Flies to the hoop.
Hi, I'm Chris Carter. I'd like to talk to you about a problem that can happen in your city, your community, to someone you love. The inability to tell the difference between a bid price and an ask price, a market order and a limit order. But thanks to programs like web shops, Schwab is making a difference. At Schwab branches across America, they'll teach you all about using the world's leading online broker. Pay attention. Just another way Schwab is helping to make smarter investors.
How do you look up a stock symbol again?
Okay, heads up. I'm quitting smoking. Again.
So, Dr. Jekyll, when should we expect Mr. Hyde?
You're looking at Hyde. I quit Saturday. This time, Nicoderm CQ.
Has Carol moved out yet?
Nope. In fact, she's tickled pink.
He does seem normal.
I am normal. This is CQ. Helps calm the cravings 24 hours a day, even when you first wake up.
Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
Guys, relax.
If 1999 went by too fast, don't worry. We have it all on tape. This weekend, catch up on all the movies you've missed at Blockbuster.
Wild Card Saturday starts when Bruce Smith and the Buffalo Bills take on Eddie George and the Tennessee Titans. Don't miss game 1 of a Wild Card doubleheader, 12:30 Eastern on ABC.
On the sideline with head coach Bobby Bowden in this second quarter, Bobby, Virginia Tech looks shell-shocked. How do you go for the juggler?
Yeah, we'll try. I don't want us sitting on the darn thing. You know, we got to go after them.
You were talking about the mismatch being the wide receiver, but you've had a great game plan against Corey Moore, stopping him from putting pressure.
Yeah, we've got to.
Flea flicker, got him again. Warrick. 33 yards.
Talk about a confident coach. He can do an interview and run a flea flicker at the same time. Here it is, the wide receiver, Peter Warrick. Pitch it back, kind of hesitates. It's not there deep, and then smartly comes across the field. It's a read. Both Weinke and Peter adjust their routes. They know each other, work together every day, and they do it properly.
Weinke on a pump fake, and he will go down for the first time. The Nokia Sugar Bowl is interactive with ABC's Enhanced TV. Get real-time stats and more while you watch the game. Log on to ESPN.com or ABC.com right now while you watch the Nokia Sugar Bowl. David Pugh made that stop at defensive tackle as you look down on the Louisiana Superdome.
Here's the problem. Safety covering a receiver. Safety covering an outside receiver here. Look at that.
Warrick, 3 catches for 100 yards here tonight already. The second sack, and Jamel Smith, the linebacker, brings Weinke down.
And I guess there's the safety belt. When you got safety on receivers, you better get to the quarterback, but it's very dangerous. If you don't get to him, you've got a wide receiver on basically a linebacker.
So Coach Bowden graciously over speaking to Lynn Swan. He felt very confident on that pass, but then the series bogged down for him.
You don't suppose that was part of it, did you?
And the first time out used by the Noles here.
Florida State only had 10 guys.
8:02 left in the first half. Timeout, 28-7 Florida State.
What if your car knew you, anticipated your needs, and then reacted to meet them? What if it could adjust to how long your legs are? What if it could help protect you in an accident? With sensors that know where your seat is positioned and the severity of the crash, so the front airbags react to you. What if it went even further? Wouldn't that make sense? What if it could prevent potential problems? Or light the road better at night? What if its testing exceeded anything the real world can dish out? Is that possible? What if it made genius obvious and brilliance accessible? it's time to stop wondering what if. Introducing the new 2000 Ford Taurus.
Just hit the buzzer, Andy. I brought something for you from Pets.com. I'm here to play with the tabby cat. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it makes you crazy. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. Pets.com, because pets can't drive.
Need more room for your tools?
Kia Sugar Bowl on ABC Sports.
8:02 remaining in the second quarter, and Florida State leads it by 3 touchdowns, 28-7. This is third down and about 29 yards to go for the Noles. Weinke been sacked a couple times on this series, moves the pocket, and now he'll take off well short of the first down. Slides now at the 43-yard line. Well, you take a look at one of the many quarterbacks come out of Florida State, and you'll see another one in the second game of ABC's wild card playoff doubleheader. The Detroit Lions head to Washington to face running back André Davis and Brad Johnson, the former Nole, their starting quarterback. That's game 1 of the NFC wild card playoffs, and that coverage due to begin at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, all part of Super January. And here is fourth down with Keith Cottrell back to punt. And Ike Charlton, his one-time high school nemesis, back deep to return for Virginia Tech. They were coming after one, and so quickly Cottrell fires it toward the end zone, gets a great hop on it, and Tatum down there again. What a night he's having on the Florida State special teams. The press was on. Cottrell fired, got the English. Tatum did the rest.
Things are not going well for Frank Beamer. You look at the statistical comparison in this football game. You see a football stop, a line drive one stop right on the goal line, basically. And you know things aren't just breaking well for your football team as Michael Vick comes on again to try it.
This is a great attacking spot against Beamer's offense for Mickey Andrews and the Noles defense. Stith is still out. Play fake, and Vick's going to try it out of the end zone. Fires underneath. Second down. And Vick got nailed in the end zone.
It's climbing up. They tried to go deep to Davis again. Play action pass coming off the line of scrimmage. Vick waits too long. Need to throw it. A little bit of flash and then gets sandwiched right at the end of it. Play action pass, looking down. Boy, you can feel your clock, the mental clock in that pocket when you're in the end zone. That ball should have been gone.
Jerry Johnson, number 92, wailing away. Here's Kendrick, small hole, dove out a couple of yards. Let's go down to Lynn Swan.
Well, Brent Stith is out for Virginia Tech, but so is starting weak side linebacker number 29, Tommy Poley. He re-aggravated an MCL sprain in his left knee. Put a brace on it, wrapped some tape around it, tried to run it to go back in the ball game, but the doctors have sat him down, said they will take him inside at halftime and reevaluate it then when they have more time to look at it. Brent?
Bobby Rhodes, number 49, who has played a lot this year, replaces him. In trouble again, got to fire in a hurry. High. The heat was on.
What a play.
David Warren out of Tyler, Texas, coming after the quarterback.
What an athletic play by David Warren. He backs up Roland Seymour, playing left defensive end for Florida State. Watch this coming from the right side of your screen. Half roll, here it comes. Whoa. That ball was just let go as he let go, and nice job by Warren not throwing him to the ground.
This time Reggie Durden back deep, and Kibble without much room.
You have to assume they're going for the block then.
Bangs it out. Durden runs it down to the 46. Out of bounds on the far sideline. It's a 13-yard return on that punt. So Michael Vick with his hands full in New Orleans.
You know what this means? It's not high school wrestling. Riding time means nothing. Right? Score points, baby. That was the 1960s.
So how about this one? The Noles with 16 plays have scored 28 points. Looking for another one.
That's how you do it.
There's that minor, and it's read perfectly by the inside lineman Carl Bradley. He's a good one. 298-pound senior out of Lynchburg, Virginia. Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, if Corey Moore is shell-shocked, it hasn't stopped him from trying to rally the troops. He gathered the defense on the sidelines and said this: look, we've been down before. We've been down several touchdowns before. Remember what the coaches have told us. Take it one play at a time. Then he growled, and get your butts back out there and play harder.
It's the only way you do it. You can't stop, that's for sure.
If he knocked on your door and he was an agent, would you open it? And Minor dashing, prancing, and makes it to the 32-yard line. That's just about, maybe 9 yards to go.
Brent, there's so much you want to say about a football game. You know, I think another factor in this game is the turf. Two games that Virginia Tech struggled in was Pittsburgh and West Virginia. Pittsburgh threw for over 400 yards. West Virginia took them down to the last second field goal. Both of those games were on the turf. It looks to me that Florida State is a little bit quicker and a lot bigger.
Third down and 9. They're rolling the pocket against the Hokie rush, and Weinke going to be sacked for the third time. Now, this is the one thing that the Virginia Tech defensive coaches preached all along. Keep the heat on Weinke. Foster said, get to him. Start breathing on him. Start bringing him down. He'll throw high after that.
Yep. And you can see the game plan. Dan Kendra, the fullback, number 10, by the way, a former quarterback on this football team. He's got the chip block on Corey Moore. Didn't get enough of a chip off him that time. You got to get more of a chip than that.
The Noles are concentrating so hard on Moore that now they're turning some other folks loose in that defense, is what's happening. Moore with only one tackle in this game, and Carl Bradley has proven to be a monster. So here on fourth down, and again they're going to try to press it, and Cottrell with the answer. Drops one toward the goal line, and it goes across. Going to come out on the 20-yard close, wasn't it? Well, you know, coming up during the National Car Rental Halftime Show, Nokia once again has a special show. Joe Theismann there, formerly of Notre Dame and the Washington Redskins. He returns to action for the first time since his retirement as he tries to help the man on the right, Bob Motorhack, win $2 million. Stay tuned for the Nokia $2 Million Challenge.
Let me help everybody. Joe was the guy on the left. Just if you haven't seen Joe in a while. Yeah, that's Joe. Let me help everybody right there.
I'm going to tell my friend Jack Arute, don't give him the microphone, Jack. You'll never get it back. First down and 10. On the option. And look who's back. Stith. 17 yards.
It was going to be tough enough for the Hokies to take on these Noles with Ricky Hall and Tyrone Stith. Now without him in this football game, you can see the difference when Stith is in the football game. Here comes that option again. And look at that truck and trailer. There's the truck, there's the trailer. Just follow your guy. That's nice. That's old-time football. Bo would love that one. Truck and trailer. Stick with your blocker.
61 yards for Stith. And that is the Hokies' first down of the second quarter. 3:29 to go. Come back. Pads a poppin' in New Orleans. Jerry Johnson. The Noles told us that they were going to use 25 defensive players at least in the first half of this game. They have been on this stage before. Bobby Bowden and his staff feeling that they are by far the deeper team. And over the course of a long evening, especially with the defensive linemen, it is very important to rotate your players. Halftime tends to run long in these situations. Second down and 9. Penalty flag flying, a free play. The Noles were offside, and Vick makes the most of it. With the speed, he breaks free. Got an angle. Vick pushed out of bounds by Ty Cody, number 27.
I've really never seen anything like it. I mean, he's not running against Temple here. He's running against Florida State, everyone. Watch this. Jumping off sides to the outside. Vick does a little spinorama right there. Now watch this cutback. All week, Florida said, State said, don't let him cut back. There's the cutback. Now watch the speed. 4.33 speed. Good block by the tight end right there, Browning Wynn. And look at that acceleration.
The Noles use a second timeout here with 2:31 to go. Florida State leads at 28-7, but Virginia Tech is threatening.
175 million Americans watched. A grand party. 24 hours. Amazing and enthralling. 7 continents. A global epic. And now, one video. ABC 2000, a celebration of the new millennium. Call 1-800-CALL-ABC to reserve your piece of history today.
Redshirt freshman quarterback coming off a 43-yard run, trying to put a second touchdown in the end zone here for the Hokies before the intermission.
Second time in the red zone, just barely. Remember the first time, a fumble.
Stiff.
I love this guy.
To the 13-yard line. He's a big-time running back.
Yep,
Gary.
he is. I asked Ricky Bussell, the coordinator, about him, who coincidentally coached Ernest Biner at East Carolina. And I asked him, can he catch the ball? And he said, and because Ernest Biner was a great receiver for the Cleveland Browns, he said actually at this stage he's a better receiver than Ernest was at the same stage in his career.
Now on second down. The play fake and Vick rolling hard to the left. Complete inside the 10-yard line. Derek Carter, the junior from Smithfield, Virginia, with his first catch of the game. What a program reminder. He ruled the ring and he bowed to no one. The world premiere, Muhammad Ali, King of the World, next Monday right here on ABC.
Tyrone Stith again going out of the game.
He tried it, delivered.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And a Warrior hits for the sideline.
They faked the ball to him on this bootleg thing. Let's take a look and see if we can figure out what happened. Fake it to him. Corey Simon, yeah, that's it. Corey Simon comes inside and puts it right on. Helmet to the knee.
First down and goal. Vick changing up. Kendrick. And he powers his way to about the 4-yard line before he's brought down. Strong open run by Kendrick. Derek Gibson and Jamal Reynolds in on that tackle, but Kendrick was pushing the pile a little bit there.
Yes, he is. He's got to come through. He's got to be the guy right now. Frank Beamer without 2 of his stars, Stith and Ricky Hall. On top of that, it's a punt block and a punt return for touchdowns.
Option, Vick going to keep it for the end zone. Touchdown. Could be a long night with Michael Vick out there.
Incredible. Talk to the people at Virginia Tech and they say we had 999 pieces of the puzzle already set. Michael Vick was the last piece of the puzzle. Brent, that's a huge piece though. I mean, this guy is a big-time player for anybody. He's going to make them that much better rushing the ball and throwing the ball the way he does.
Graham, perfect on the extra point.
Coming right at you, the option.
Down the line, and Vick saw the daylight immediately. Gibson jumps outside, and he dashes for the end zone. And Michael Vick's running leads the Hokies 80 yards in 7 plays, Gary. And now Michael has run 9 times for 71 yards here.
And that's what everybody for Virginia Tech has told us about Michael Vick. raised the standards, raised the big-time plays against West Virginia when they had to have that final drive. A minute 15 to go in the game, no timeouts. That's when Michael Vick played his best ball. That was a huge drive, and he did it with that busted play. Remember, we talked about what was the keys to the game. It was busted plays.
Jackaroot.
Well, Brent, this is what both teams are playing for. This is the Sears National Championship Trophy. It's worth $30,000. This piece alone, the Waterford Crystal made in Ireland, takes 3 months to produce. It takes about 4 months to win.
Don't bobble it, partner. That's valuable down there. Last year, of course, it was the Tennessee Volunteers. Won it out in Tempe. Beat the Florida State Seminoles, who were without Chris Weinke. Suffered a serious neck injury against Virginia and missed the Noles' last 3 games. Now he's back, trying to win a national championship in New Orleans. Stringer coming out for the Noles. Upended short of the 20-yard line.
For the first time all game, I think you'll see the Noles now play it conservative and go in at halftime 28-14. Your chances of running the field down with 31 seconds, only 1 timeout, not very good.
If anything surprises me, or you, Gary, in the first half, it's the fact that Virginia Tech has rushed for 171 yards here in the first half.
But I'll bet more than probably 3/4 of them have been on busted plays.
That's how good Michael Vick is.
You got it. Look at this. It's got to be the draw play.
Back in the gun.
Doesn't look like it. Running back's way real wide.
Shayne, a pretty good receiver, takes the inside handoff and slips out to keep the clock running. It'll stop on the first down. Ben Taylor after a 13-yard gain.
Chris Weinke's looking to the sideline. He wants to go deep. You can just see him. He wants to throw the ball down one more time.
6 touchdowns scored here in the first half of this BCS title game.
Well, with Janikowski, you might only have to get to about the 40-yard line to let him get one of those booming kicks.
Bringing the clock down. They're going to let him run out.
That's very smart.
Then take their lead on into the locker room. Well, Florida State leads it 28-14, but Michael Vick showing you that he's not going away here tonight. Let's go to Lynn Swan.
Well, Coach, you got a 14-point lead, but even when things are going great, I know there's something you don't like about what your team is doing. Tell us what that is.
I don't like it because we had great field position down here and maybe could have put them away and did nothing. Turned around and went backwards with it. I thought that hurt bad, and we got to get the momentum back. We get the ball in the second half. We got to get a decent return and go get something done, get the momentum back.
What's your message to your ball club about maintaining the intensity in the second half of this game?
Not on the intensity, but to contain on Vick. How in the world do you contain that guy? I mean, he's all, that's the key. If we could contain him, we could beat him.
Coach, thank you. Talk to you in the second half.
Bobby's not doing anything. Send him on up to the booth. He's pretty good.
Right.
Coming up next, the National Car Rental Halftime Show. The Noles and Peter Warrick lead it. An exasperated Frank Beamer gets a late lift from his electrifying freshman.
Final answer? You win $250.
Watching the Bowl Championship Series on ABC Sports as coverage of the Nokia Sugar Bowl continues.
With Hokies head coach Frank Beamer, Coach, special teams and big plays killed you.
You know, we really played a pretty good half other than 4 plays, and that's not like us at Virginia Tech. Give up 2 scores in the kicking game, but they got a good kicking game too, good talent.
Now, what did you tell the troops at halftime?
So I believe we got this thing about where we wanted. Really, other than 4 plays, we were playing well, and we just got to nobody panics, keep on taking 1 play at a time, and see if we can get this thing done.
The key, Brent, 1 play at a time.
And here is the first one, a kickoff. Florida State gets the ball to start the second half, leading it by 2 touchdowns. Stringer and Gardner back deep. Gardner coming out from a yard in the end zone. Battles his way to the 21-yard line. And welcome back, everybody, with Gary Danielson. I'm Brent Musburger. Gary, what do we expect here in the second half?
I think Florida State is going to forget all those trick plays, the shuffle passes, the rollout. They're going to drop back, find the matchup, and throw the football.
Were you as surprised as all our coaches were about the performance of the special teams for the Hokies?
Absolutely shocked. It was the one thing that Virginia Tech couldn't have go against them. They knew they were up against it with the talent of this team, and then have the special teams go against it. That was disaster.
Shotgun. Swing deflected away.
It was a lateral.
Corey Moore.
That was a lateral.
Makes his presence felt on the first play of the second half, and then points a finger to Peter Warrick like this one's not over.
Yeah, and again, that's the type of plays I don't think Florida State needs to run. What are they doing? Just drop back. Here you got Peter Warrick right here. They're going to try to run one of these crazy screens, a bubble screen. Look at that. Ball's thrown backwards. Absolutely good call. And the All-American snuffed it right out, and Peter Warrick got right on the ball. Corey actually took the play off, but no need to call those type of plays. Throw it downfield.
And Gary, it resulted in a 16-yard loss. Back from the shotgun again. Incomplete, and that was miscommunication as Ron Dugans broke downfield. Well, let's take a look at the Morgan Stanley Dean Witter first half stats.
You're talking, see, Frank Beamer said it was just 4 plays, and he's right. The turnovers, though, you know, there's the big thing. The special teams and the turnovers, something you would think coming into this game, Virginia Tech said, listen, if we play our game, we can stay in it. So far, they haven't played their game.
It's 3rd and 26, you know, 3 and out to start this.
Absolutely.
And good field position certainly gives the Hokies a huge lift starting the second half. Weinke swings it out to Minor. Minor in a foot race, breaks out.
Oh, my goodness.
They let Minor out on 3rd and 26. He bails them out with a 28-yard pass play from Chris Weinke.
Florida State was willing to punt the ball. They just wanted to get it out of the end zone. Mark Richt says, I'm not going to gamble here. Let's just throw it out to the flat, give it to Minor. But Virginia Tech so nervous about those receivers, nobody locks on the back, and all of a sudden, you're out of a problem. Bud Foster shocked.
3rd and 26, so it is 1st and 10. Weinke with that inside handoff to his running back this time. And Minor twists his way to the 38-yard line.
Back up off defensive lineman coming in the football game for Virginia Tech. Tech has done a good job. The backups, the second down linemen for Virginia Tech play about a ratio of 2/3 to 1/3 the play from the starters. Here he comes.
On 2nd down, Weinke fires high, and it is complete for a 1st down. Robert Morgan, the sophomore from East Point, Georgia, makes his first catch of the game.
Linebackers lined up over receivers. You always have to be aware. Chris Weinke aware. Here comes the linebacker off the slot. Boom. One-on-one coverage. That's the offense. Until that's stopped, you don't call anything else. Look at it. Here's a safety out here on a wide receiver. There's a mismatch. Take it.
Ball out to the hit the man coming through the formation. Loose ball.
Weinke gets it.
Weinke dove back after it to make the recovery. And I think it was Anquan Bolden, the freshman,
exactly right,
coming through the formation, and the ball hit him. And lucky for the Noles, Weinke recovered it.
What do coaches say, Brent, about these type of games? You see the ball, exactly right, hits number 4, Bolden. It's not the number of brilliances that win it, it's the number of mistakes that lose it. So far, you can see the game is unfolding that way.
2nd and 15, and now they roll the pocket hard to the right. Weinke in trouble, dropped by Bolden. 3rd down.
Don't understand. Chris Weinke is not comfortable doing that. Drop back, throw an 8-yard pass. Here you come, rolling out. Here's the guy right here. He's supposed to get the end man on the line of scrimmage, pulling the offensive guard, and upfield, Cyrus puts it right into his face.
Linebacker Jamel Smith, number 46, coming hard. And now they go back to a 3rd and 50. Remember, they bailed them out on 3rd and 26 a few minutes ago. This is incomplete. They will punt this time. There's a look of unease in that man's face right now. Michael Vick scrambling down the field. Foster's defense, after hitting him for a 3rd and 26, comes up that time on 3rd and 15. And the Hokies with Ike Charlton, who returned 2 of Cottrell's punts for touchdowns in high school down in Florida. Low snap on the bounce and gets it off. There was a penalty flag down. Charlton at the 20. The 34-yard line, 14-yard return, but the penalty flag is back at the line of scrimmage. Now, we have an SEC officiating crew in here tonight.
I think Virginia Tech declines this. The ball at the 33-yard line is good enough.
So we'll take a break. 12:28 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Knowles still lead it, 28-14.
With its built-in phone directory, alarm clock, calendar, and optional vibrating alert, you'll discover the easy-to-use Nokia 6100 series wireless phone is very helpful at planning your day.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nokia. Connecting people.
Sooner or later, you're going to quit smoking. So consider this. A quit date this good won't come along for another 1,000 years. Don't waste it. Quit with Nicoderm CQ. CQ's got the 3 gradual steps, and hundreds of thousands of smokers have already quit with it. Wasn't 1 millennium smoking enough? Start the next one with Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
3 years ago, my IT guys told me there'd be 2 kinds of businesses. Those with a vision to master the internet, and those without. And we didn't want to be the second kind. Then Dell came to see us. They showed us how to use the internet for direct relationships with our customers, suppliers, everyone who's a part of our business. With Dell's support, there's no limit to where I can take this company. We always knew we needed the internet. We just didn't know how badly.
Be direct. Dell. Dell servers use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
Dodge Dakota brings you a startling new advancement. Doors, great big ones, on the driver's side and the passenger side, each with windows that go all the way down. So what's the big deal about 2 great big wide opening doors? Nothing, but 4 is a different story. Real truck, real doors. Dodge Dakota Quad Cab, different.
If you're looking forward to the next millennium, better think again.
We have to save the world, my son.
Save the world? Gary Oldman and Bruce Willis, The Fifth Element, Saturday 8/7 Central on ABC.
Our FedEx player comparison. Chris Weinke has thrown for 216 yards. And take a look at Michael Vick down there, Gary.
Yeah, 84 extra yards in rushing. That's at Purdue was 173. Is that right?
I think you're on the money.
Kept me eligible.
First down and 10. Shotgun for the redshirt freshman. Fires complete. Davis. Vick takes another lick.
Yeah, David Warren, number 99. He's been the guy coming from the backside. We got boxes coming all over on that one. David Warren came from the sprint out. He still came from the backside and made it. Boy, Michael Vick gets it off just in time.
Davis with 4 catches for 80 yards, but 49 of them coming on his long touchdown.
And Brent, Michael Vick has been hit 17 times so far in this game.
Here's number 18 coming up. Late pitch, no, he didn't. And Kendrick dashes for the first down across midfield, and Vick avoided the hit that time. Good looking option run that time for 12 yards.
Let's take a look at that previous play. Vick's going to come out this way. Here's the receivers to the outside, and here's Warren from the backside. Get to see all the participants in this play. This is how long it takes. Don't have much time for your quarterback. Here it comes from behind. Never sees that blind side. Perfect throw to the outside leg of the receiver.
ABC's triple look here tonight at the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
See, three of them work.
To look at a lot of the combatants
I feel
at the
like
same
a fly.
time.
You know, you get to see all those things in different areas.
Half a field to work with now for Vick and the Hokies. They're down 2 touchdowns. Davis comes in motion. Play fake. Vick rolling hard. Needs to avoid the sack. Beats the tackler. Back to the middle. Incomplete. There was a receiver in the area.
The Knowles thought they had him this time.
He is special.
He is special. You're right. Let's take a look. We set it up this way. The Dell Game Solutions. Vick needs Stith. We saw what Stith brought to the game. Obviously, Stith needs Vick. He has to do it. Win the broken plays. That has been the story of the game so far. Virginia Tech and Michael Vick, the lock and load has not worked. Man-to-man defense to the outside has been burned for a touchdown. The play of the game has been Michael Vick outside of the offense.
Might lose here tonight and might go on to win himself a couple of Super Bowls down the road. That's how talented this young man seems when you watch him. 2nd down and 10. Short drop, backside pressure, steps back and gets away from it. Oh, he's Houdini. He's absolutely Houdini back there in the backfield. I've never seen anybody like this. And there's an old down at the 37-yard line.
Roland Seymour this time.
So in the second game of ABC's wild card playoff doubleheader, the Detroit Lions head to Washington to face Stephen Davis and the explosive Washington Redskins in game 1 of the NFC wild card playoff. Live coverage at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Gary, I wanted to ask you about the Detroit Lions. Obviously, they come in on a down note.
Yeah, before they've gone into the playoffs in the past on a high note, it hasn't worked. Now they come in on a down note. Maybe it works. I know one thing. Because I was part of it, I'm going to say we have never won at Washington.
Yeah, they are like
exactly.
and what,
You're
18?
right. 0 for as long as I can ever remember.
One of the Sports Center
It was
shows.
Roland Seymour, number 56, and you're exactly right, Brent. It was a Houdini act, and Seymour sprained his ankle, I think.
So we will take a break while Seymour receives attention on the field. Timeout.
This is my body, and I can do whatever I want to it. I can push it, study it, tweak it, listen to it. Everybody wants to know what I'm on. What am I on? I'm on my bike 6 hours a day. What are you on?
New Dakota Quad Cab comes with a nice big bed and big back doors that lead to a great big cab for putting things you don't want outside, inside, and vice versa. Inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, oops, that's better, outside. Dodge Dakota Quad Cab. Big room, big doors, big difference.
Hey, neighbor, can I borrow some ice?
Yeah, sure. Hold this.
Yep. Thanks. Got any sugar? Toothbrush? Hairdryer?
With more barbecue and cheddar flavor you can see, more you can taste on every chip and every bite. New Ruffles Flavor Rush potato chips keep you coming back for more.
The Nokia Sugar Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive brought to you by Inspired Technology with a human touch. Nokia, connecting people. Dodge, in a perfect world, everything would be different. New Tostitos Snack Kits, a whole new way to dig in, kick back. And FedEx. FedEx, be absolutely sure.
Listen, next Siegfried and Rory, he makes Seminoles disappear.
This is a defensive end. This is a defensive end. Florida State made this defense famous for this. Watch this. You called it a Houdini. How do you do this? It's instincts. It's savvy, and it's 4.3, 220. Spins away from that guy, and now watch the speed to get outside again. He runs right by Brian Allen there, another fast linebacker. Incredible.
3rd down and 16. Vick back again. Sets tall, deflected, almost intercepted. Derek Gibson, the rover, took a crack at it after the deflection, but he couldn't make the interception. But the Hokies are forced to punt. Back in the game to return another punt. There's a man, Peter Warrick, who has already returned one of them, 59 yards for a touchdown. He's also scored on a 64-yard pass play. Kibble hangs one real high. No fair catch. And going nowhere either. Good punt by Kibble and fine coverage on that at the 21-yard line. Let's check in with Jack Arute.
Well, Brent, Michael Vick has taken another stinger, but this time on his right hand, his non-throwing hand. The athletic trainer's working on it right now.
So we'll take a break.
So if you're left-handed and you get a hit on your right side, I guess you can live with that, but that's 18 hits on Michael Vick. If you're going to run the option, you're going to get dinged. That's why you have to be, what I say, have a gladiator physique if you're going to play this type of offense.
The Knowles dash out from the sideline. Minor. And at the 24-yard line. This the play where Vick injured his hand. Let's see if we can get a close look at it.
Throws the ball. It's the last play, and as he lets it go, I really don't see it. You can see it. You can see him bend over, but you really don't see the hit. You just see him react to the hit.
There was one time when he came to the game earlier this year without the wristband plays, so he borrowed it from the backup quarterback who happens to be right-handed. They were exactly backwards, and he ran a touchdown out of one of the plays. This time it's Dugans from Winking, and it'll be 3rd down. And let's check in now with Lynn Swan on Seymour's injury.
Well, Brent, he has a sprained right knee, and this entire preparation for this bowl game has been difficult for Seymour. He had an injured right shoulder. He suffered a little bit from the flu coming into this ball game, and now this injury. He will not come back into the game for the Seminoles.
He also missed curfew and did not start the game. Played high school right here in New Orleans. 3rd down and 8 for Winke and the Knowles. Danny Kendrick directly behind him in that fullback spot.
Here comes the blitz.
And the penalty flags.
I think it was the freshman that time, Brett Williams, number 72, that just had a little bit of a flinch.
Dead ball. Ball start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Jack, what's up now with Vick?
Well, it's the same thing, but a further update. After the trainers talked to Michael, it seems that what happened is he literally caught his hand and his wrist, the right one, between 2 Florida Seminole helmets. That's what caused the slight sprain. They've taped it. He's cleared to go back in.
3rd and 13. Timeout. Called by the Seminoles. They lead it, but things have not been going their way in the second half. Timeout.
Discipline creates performance. AIM Funds. The idea is discipline. The purpose is performance. The name is AIM.
Two best friends.
Did you ever take a fight on short notice?
How short? One big problem.
You guys never fought each other, right?
Now.
Why are you fighting? I got $100 grand for you guys to split.
Because they pay us. They'll get one last shot at the title.
Just back up, okay?
If they don't kill each other first.
Kiss me. Well, I might do that because ever since you shave your head, you lose weight.
Play it to the bone.
I just don't like you.
Rated R. Starts Friday, January 14th. Monday, the main event is on ABC.
I'm the greatest. I am king of the world.
Muhammad Ali, King of the World, ABC Monday.
And Weinke now facing a 3rd and 13 with Vick patiently waiting his turn over on the side and down by 2 touchdowns. He's taken a lot more hits, but here's 3rd and 13. 2 tight ends for protection. Weinke looking slant, pump fakes, wants Warrick deep, one-on-one, overthrew him. The Noles will punt again.
Anthony Midget, Ike Charlton, the 2 corners. Such a big part of this football game. Man-to-man in this defense most of the time. There's Ike Charlton. Brent, I watched 2 practice at Virginia Tech. This guy's like a coach on the field in practice, telling people where to go. A very valuable football player for this football team. Look at that, returning punts now with an injury.
Coach Foster and his staff have done some remarkable adjustments here defensively for the Hokies. This is the 4th punt in Florida State's last 5 possessions, and they force a low line drive. Here comes Charlton. Cuts free. The heat was there, and the Hokies with excellent field position. A 24-yard return by Ike Charlton. A program reminder, starting next Tuesday at 10/9 Central, NYPD Blue back on ABC. The season premiere you've waited for long enough. NYPD Blue returns next Tuesday night here on ABC. So here, Gary, is the field position coming up now that Michael Vick and the Hokies have been looking for. They've been hanging in this game, playing extremely well in the second half.
Exactly right. And Florida State has done such a good job at the end of the season keeping teams from making first downs.
Vick's going to throw back. He threw high, caught by the fullback Hawkins. Hawkins all alone down the sideline and pushed out of bounds. A 26-yard play. And how often do we see fullbacks just slip free like this? Great call.
Best call of the football game. Expecting the blitz. After a big punt return, ball in plus territory, the MO for Mickey Andrews is to come after you. You go with the throwback screen to somebody that you would never expect get it, and there's another shot for Michael Vick. But boy, those taste good when you can put that many yards on it.
Hawkins made a slick catch too, didn't he?
Yep.
Kendrick, still the tailback. He pounds straight ahead. Shy of the 10-yard line. Andrews with his hands full against this redshirt freshman. And unbeaten Virginia Tech now. They just did not go away, even when they were down 28-7.
Now you expect with a mobile quarterback to get him involved right here. Second and basically long.
Instead, Kendrick attacking the middle of the Noles defense, running right at him inside the 10, but shy of the first down.
Michael Vick, you look at the Florida State defense, the last 4 opponents, that's what we're talking about, 3rd down conversions. Tough to make a first down against this defense on 3rd down.
Here's where Michael Vick might be able to do his
He was signaling to the sideline that he wanted the boot. He was kicking his foot, trying to signal to the coach what he wanted. He wanted the boot. Let's see if he gets his call.
First down marker is at the 5-yard line. They need about 4. He fumbles the snap, picks it up, in trouble. Rackley's coming from behind, and he dashes away from him.
How does he do that?
And an official is hit hard. The field judge goes down. He's knocked out on the, I shouldn't say knocked out, he was knocked down on the sideline, and he bounces back up. But did you see the speed?
I can't, it's unbelievable. I hope it shows up on television as well as it does when you're watching it in person right here. It was going to be the bootleg. Drops the snap. Now, when he picks it up, look at this guy run. That's Deion Rackley, number 5. These are parade All-American 4-4 guys, and Michael Vick really complains about that late hit right there. He was clearly out of bounds, but still a tough call.
Thomas is the defensive back who hit him. This is going to be a 23-yard field goal for Graham. Remember the last time they set up for a field goal around the face. I do not think this will be the option here, folks. And Graham pulls the Hokies 3 points closer with a 23-yard field goal. It's 28-17 now, Florida State.
AT&T, 7 cents a minute, all day, every day.
Take one of these. That'll be 25 cents.
But it says here it's a nickel.
Not for a couple of hours.
What?
Well, see, sometimes it's a nickel, but right now, it's a quarter.
It's like that long-distance nickel plan where they say it's a nickel.
Sometimes they charge you 25.
That's right.
That's where we got the idea.
Is that right?
7 cents a minute, all day, every day, even to Canada with our international plan.
You know, there are some stores that sell candy for one low price all day long.
And people like it?
Oh, they love it.
Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
I'm going with extra pickles.
Pickles? I hate pickles. Onions rule, man. Give me extra onions, no tomatoes.
Tomatoes are key. I mean, pickles and tomatoes are like the yin and yang of the Whopper.
Look, you get your yin and yang and leave my onions alone, okay?
Okay. But you're wrong.
Hey, it's just a choice.
Yeah, and you choose to be wrong.
Oh, I'm Mike.
And I'm Jack. And that's my Whopper. It's my Whopper, and it's my $2.
Your website's going to be set up like an MMDS gigabyte with a rotating geostationary satellite. We feel that both you and your customer will appreciate binary riddles that users love. You know, that's part of the fun. Then wait till you guys see this. The technology will be obsolete by the time we leave here today, but that's okay because we'll come back.
Who designs your website is up to you. Hooking it up and delivering the goods, leave that up to us.
Of course, you ship everything FedEx.
FedEx, be absolutely sure.
Now that's a plan. You gave me the idea? Well, maybe I vaguely inspired something. We used to charge different prices at different times.
Like that long-distance nickel plan.
Sometimes it's a nickel, sometimes it's a quarter.
But you changed because you wanted to be more like AT&T, 7 cents a minute, all day, every day.
Oh, you're the man.
Yeah, you the candy man.
You're the 7 cents man.
Well, every child has a dream.
7 cents a minute, all day, every day, even to Canada with our international plan. Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
Think they've shocked you before? You won't believe the new surprises they've got coming in the new year. An all-new practice returns ABC Sunday, 10/9 Central.
The BCS championship game, the Nokia Sugar Bowl, with a record crowd on hand, and Virginia Tech showing a lot of courage. It's 28-17 after the field goal by Graham. Their fans who travel so well during the regular season have shown up in force here in New Orleans.
Get the feeling 28 points is not enough for Florida State to win this game.
Take a knee and it'll come out. We want to go back on this scramble by Vick, and I want you to watch the field judge as he goes out of bounds on this play. Ben Oldham has the call. Thomas is going to hit him after he's out of bounds. But watch what happens now. Watch the official. He gets knocked askew. Might he have called it? Might he have called it if he was standing there? I can't answer that. Only Ben could be able to tell us. But that would have been first and goal had they called the play. Now,
half the crowd thinks it was a bad call. Half thinks a good call.
Exactly. Gary, last 5 possessions for Florida State. 19 plays, only 46 yards. That's since they were ahead 28-7. Weinke fires incomplete. Midget. Great hit by Midget. The Nokia Sugar Bowl is interactive with ABC's Enhanced TV. Get real-time stats and more while you watch the game. Log on to ESPN.com or ABC.com right now while you watch the game.
Brent, where's Peter Warrick? Why can't Florida State get the ball to Peter?
And Corey Moore.
He is in the slot.
Corey Moore not on the field right now. He does come out during games sometimes. Shotgun, and it was for Minnis. Midget diving up over the top, and Minnis makes the grab. The junior from Miami. That's his first catch of the night.
Florida State is not getting time to throw the ball downfield. The pass rush of the Hokies has changed the game plan now.
They press at the box. Weinke being blitzed. Incomplete. And the Hokies just keep turning the heat up.
You talk all week, and it's man-to-man matchups. But when you have man-to-man matchups, you got to make it go. You got a quarterback taking a hit, good throw to the outside. Can't come up with the catch that time, Marvin Minnis.
Cottrell standing on the Knowles 11-yard line. Drives Charlton inside the 20. Now starts upfield. Got an alley. Midfield. Charlton, who returned 2 of Cottrell's punts for touchdowns in high school, brings this one back 45 yards.
Flag on the field, remember. Deep punt. First good punt by Florida State. Kind of out-kick it. Look at the blocking. One right there. Here comes another one right there. Another one right there. Here comes another one right there.
It's against Florida State. This is going to count.
Coming right at you this time. Remember, this is the backup. This is the second punt returner. It is against Florida State. It's going to stand.
And punter Keith Cottrell has to save the day, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Now Michael Vick back in business. Michael dances off to the right off his own lineman. Now going to fire downfield. Incomplete at the goal line. Davis, the receiver. Tay Cody with coverage.
There it is right here, the shotgun. Here's the receiver he's going to go to, going down the field. Watch this, little spin. Want him to go to the hook and go, but not enough time. Now the quarterback Vick's just throwing it up for grabs. Help me, receiver, knock this baby down. That's what the receiver did that time. Davis comes back and makes sure it's not intercepted. Frank's holding his heart. Look at that.
2nd and 10. Sean Witten in as a receiver. Option look. Vick going to keep it short of the first down. At the Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans, the Nokia Sugar Bowl for the championship. The 2 unbeatens, Florida State and Virginia Tech. And Tech has returned kickoffs and punts 206 yards in this game. And they are hanging in the neighborhood with a big 3rd and 3 inside the 30-yard line. The marker is at the 26. The pitch. Kendrick, first down, end zone ahead. Touchdown, Hokies! 29 yards.
Of offensive plays. Shotgun, deep balls, option, power, the whole package.
Now they'll go for 2. Trailing by 5. They'd like to put it a field goal away. I know you don't.
I don't like this. I like it to be a 4-point game because if Florida State kicks a field goal, then it's just a 7-point game. I don't like to chase these points all game.
I think Frank Beamer wanted to quickly go to work on it too. Judging from what he said to Vick, that's that basketball thing. You know, pick the tempo up when you're going to do this.
Right there, the good pitch to the outside and a great cutback that time. Setting up the blockers, Kendrick comes back and cuts it up. That's exactly how the option play is supposed to work. Once he got into the secondary, Kendrick saw that goal line and took it right to the pylon.
After the return, remember it was Charlton with that fabulous punt return, giving them field position. And Frank Beamer's Hokies go 36 yards in 3 plays. And one other thing we can say about Virginia Tech, not only do they have an electrifying quarterback, but they have a very good coaching staff. Bobby Bowden and the Noles are in for the battle of their lives now.
We've said all week, Brent, that the longer Virginia Tech stays in the game, the pressure would shift to Florida State. First 2-point conversion attempt this year. I guess when you go 11-0, when you beat everybody up, you don't have to go for 2. I guess they saved a good play for this.
Vick faked the handoff. Loose, incomplete. So the 2-point conversion fails, and Florida State's lead is 28-23.
Going to try to hit the slant play to the left side of the field to Thomas, the outside receiver. Fake it inside, hold the linebackers. Vick's going to try to throw the slant right in this area right there. Doesn't have it. Actually drops the ball on the play because the coverage was so good he tried to stop the throw.
Unanswered points for the Hokies. Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, when the Hokies tried to start to climb the mountain to Division I respectability, the coaches got together and said, we need a symbol. They came up with a simple lunchbox. The concept being, we go to work every day like a blue-collar worker. We take it 1 hour at a time. We bring in our hardest efforts and check in and check out. The lunchbox comes to every game. It sits here, entrusted to the defense in year 2000's national championship game.
And they'll go back to work, Jack. Trailing it by 5. And Florida State has been unable to move the football. And I have got to go back in the second quarter when the Noles lead at 28-7. And suddenly Michael Vick from out of nowhere drives the Hokies down. Pulls them to win 14 at the end of the half. The game has not been the same since. Maddox, the freshman.
Oh, boy.
And down he goes as the Hokies bringing it now. Tonight's aerial facilities are provided by Nokia.
Florida State has to go back to that first game plan. They got to find their All-American Peter Warrick. Heck with the trick plays, the shuffle passes. Let's find this guy right here. Little one-on-one route out there.
Florida State in their last 22 plays, only 52 yards. Warrick's got it. Does a dance. And the freshman corner, we got a penalty flag as Roniel Whitaker, the freshman out of Norfolk, Virginia, going at it with Warrick down here.
A dead ball foul might be against Peter Warrick here, huh? Could have been either one of them, the freshman or the senior.
I thought, yeah, they were both sort of pushing.
Yep. Looks like it's going to be against the Noles.
Dead ball, personal foul on the offense. 15 yards, end of the run. It will be first down, Florida State.
Here it comes. He's open by 15 yards on this play. And at the end, tries to do 2. Actually, he stepped out of bounds before it. See, it's a dead ball foul, I think. And then right at the end of the play, he kind of shoves it away. Let's see if he hits him in the face. Yep, right in the face mask.
I guess my only question is, should an official have stepped in when he stepped out of bounds and blown a whistle and ended it right
Didn't get
there?
Quick enough, did he? So here's the play. It was a first down, a dead ball foul, so it brings it back, and the Noles get another first down attempt here.
Ball is inside the 20-yard line. Weinke under pressure goes deep, and it's intercepted at the 40-yard line by Midget. Anthony Midget, the senior from Clewiston, Florida, intercepts Weinke's pass.
Florida State tries to get greedy here. Keeps in the tight end, keeps in the backs here. They try to go max protection, just a two-man route. The only thing Chris Weinke doesn't do is find the safety. Just throws this ball up for grabs, feels the pressure. Here comes the safety. Gets the ball. That's a critical mistake from your quarterback. Weinke feels the pressure. Two-man pass route on this play. You have to find the safety on this one if you're a quarterback, a young quarterback, a college quarterback, or a professional quarterback. Inexcusable.
First turnover of this game by the Noles. Virginia Tech trailing by 5, but absolutely dominant in this championship game right now. And Vick goes down. Michael Vick tripped as he pulled away from the center, so it will be second down coming up. I want to go back to Midget right there. That young man is over by Lake Okeechobee out of Clewiston. His mother had just enough money to come either to his graduation or to this game. She went to the graduation. Some folks down in the Palm Beach area raised enough money to send her and a couple of her friends over to this game. They drove up from South Florida, and my, how Mom must have enjoyed that interception. Now Michael Vick on a pump fake, comes firing the screen to the fullback. First down, out of bounds inside the 40-yard line as Cullen Hawkins, the junior from Pittsburgh, goes for 23 more yards. And look at what the Hokies have found.
Ricky Bussell, you got to give it to him. Offensive coordinator for Virginia Tech. Right now, he's in a rhythm. Going to fake the flare screen to one side. Watch Michael Vick drop back. Fake it one way. Out sneaks the fullback. And now watch the blocking here. You'll see the alley right there. Look at that. Good blocking up there. It's exactly how you do it. You get those guys out there and screen the team. Right now, Ricky Bussell's in a groove, calling plays.
Kendrick is his tailback. Dances to the right to the 36-yard line. It's a very interesting moment of this football game, because when we were in Tallahassee and I was speaking with Coach Bowden, I said, Bobby, if Virginia Tech stays close to you in the fourth quarter or gets ahead, I think the pressure switches over on your sideline as the favorite. Now, he quickly disagreed and said he'd been behind. I said Virginia Tech hadn't, but I believe it now. Second down and 8. Vick dashing back. Here he comes again. Electrifying. First down at the 20-yard line. 15 more yards. And have you ever seen anything like this?
Bobby Rhodes, number 49 right here, is unblocked. Watch this. He can't catch him. He's a 4-6 player. You can't catch 4-3. I've never seen a guy. Now, if Michael Vick is just a runner, he's not going to have this effect on a football game. But this package, like I said, it's the holy grail. It's what coaches are looking for. This is the holy grail of a quarterback in the next century.
My, oh my, 14 carries for 87 yards. Okay. In trouble now. And he'll go down on the busted play at the 29 with Jamal Reynolds closing in. So the Florida State Seminoles, who once led this game, in case you just joined us, 28-7, you can see what they have allowed rushing. And tonight, Virginia Tech has hit them for 236 yards. Vick, 87 of those yards. Mickey Andrews has never seen an avalanche like this. There's the man.
He's calm. He just looked the whole play sheet right now to the offensive coordinator. Looks like a menu at a restaurant. Pick out anything, they all taste good.
Second and long. Option for Vick. He keeps it, dashes upfield. 15, 10. Near the 5-yard line. It is first and goal for the amazing Vick and Virginia Tech. 22 more yards. He now is over 100 yards rushing on the day.
Some good blocking going on here. Watch the pancake. Gets these two outstanding tackles. There it is right there, number 59. Lambo just takes his man down. Vick. One side, the other side, the bootleg, the screen, the deep ball, the whole package. Anthony Lambo.
First and goal. Kendrick steps to the middle. Touchdown! Hokies lead it. Hokies lead it on the 6-yard run. Trailing 28-7. They come back, and Beamer says we'll try 2 again.
Offensive line, watch this block, sealing down inside. Matt Lair, number 69, there's that block, just takes a defensive tackle. Corey Simon, an All-American, right out of the play.
Vick from the shotgun with Kendrick to his left. Fires and knocked away. Gibson comes up to make strong defensive play, but the Hokies have put 22 unanswered points on the scoreboard here in New Orleans.
Sprint option, slot option right down here to the bottom of the screen. Ball's a little bit behind that time. Tapped away from André Davis. There's no re-voting in this Heisman thing, is there? It's done, isn't it?
Well, let's go back to what Coach Bowden was talking about when they were behind. And we asked Bobby, can you come back now if you fall behind in this game?
That might be one advantage we got. We've been behind a lot more than them. We've been behind. Hey, if you ain't ever been behind now, you don't know how your kids are going to play. We've been behind more than them.
Bobby, I think it has been answered. They play very well. 22 unanswered points now, and Virginia Tech leads it 29-28. And now, doesn't Frank Beamer wish he had kicked both extra points?
Absolutely. I'm always for the 1 point. I'm a 1 point man, so it would have been 31-28. You know that. I've got more than 1 point. I just mean on these extra point deals right
exactly.
here.
No, I understand.
No, I'm
with you,
kidding myself.
You haven't lost me.
You get back into this football game now. Florida State has tried everything. 4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, 1 tight end, play action pass. Don't go for the home run. Take easy throws.
Well short of the 20-yard line. The big difference in this game in the second half has been the performance of Virginia Tech's special team. They surrendered 2 touchdowns in the first half, in case you just joined us. 1 on a block punt, and the second on Peter Warrick's 59-yard return for a touchdown. That was the last Seminole score. It put them up 28-7. Since then, Vick has gone in from 3 yards. Graham's kicked a 23-yarder. Kendrick has scored 2 touchdowns for him, and now they lead it as you see how dominant the Hokies have become. Weinke, play fake, sidearms the ball, and Warrick out of bounds. You get the feeling that when we saw Bowden on the sideline next to his senior star, that he said to him, Peter, it is now time. Let's go.
We don't have to get it all in one play. The front 7, though, those 7 guys inside, 6 seniors, 17 letter winners. These guys have played a lot of football against a lot of good football teams. That's why they didn't crack at halftime.
Shotgun, running away, in trouble. Going to take 2 hits as Carl Bradley cleans up with the 4th Virginia Tech sack. Let's go to Lynn Swan.
Well, Brett, one of the things I've noticed in this ball game for Florida State's offense, when they get into trouble, is when they don't take advantage of what the defense gives them, and they try and press. They try and force the ball into their star player, Peter Warrick. They also need another receiver to pick up the slack. On their first touchdown drive of the ball game, Ron Dugans made a key first down catch that seemed to relax Peter Warrick. They have to continue to play that way, then the big things will happen.
It is 3rd down and 8. They have gotten the ball to Warrick 5 times for 120 yards. And they fire back to Minnis in the middle. And Marvin Minnis with a 1st down at the 38-yard line. His 2nd reception of the night for 19 yards.
Well, Lynn was right on, and they come to Minnis. But what happened, I think, is Florida State lost a little confidence in those receivers. A couple of drops, and I think Bobby Bowden and Peter Warrick said, hey, get me the ball. I can beat him.
Larry Austin replaces Charlton on one corner, and Weinke. Here's Bolden, the freshman, his first reception for the Noles to the 41-yard line. Played 6 years, Weinke did, in the Toronto Blue Jays organization before coming back to Florida State. Coach Bowden had always promised him that if he ever gave up on baseball, there'd be a scholarship waiting. And now the junior quarterback. 2nd down and 5. Final seconds in the 3rd quarter. Inside handoff. Chaney short of the 1st down. Bobby Bowden with a close look at that scoreboard as Virginia Tech at the end of the 3rd quarter leads it 29-28. This is our Nokia action highlight. Michael Vick, the difference maker, and we'll continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Stand by, I'll be ground, X-31, ready to check.
Initiating data download.
At Merrill Lynch, we're still bullish.
Analyzing data.
From Wall Street to the world.
Hey guys, that super hot laundromat commercial girl is looking for love.
Like I got her a roll of quarters and it's wrapped in a bow. Made it out of fabric softener.
2 guys and a girl. See you Wednesday on ABC.
When it's time for a chicken sandwich that's full of flavor, it's Bojangles time. Introducing Bojangles' delicious new Cajun Bacon Cheddar Melt. We start with our original Cajun filet sandwich, a tender Cajun breast filet. Add cheese, strips of lean bacon, and luscious melted cheddar cheese. Bojangles' new Cajun Bacon Cheddar Melt. So remember, sandwich time is Bojangles time.
Bojangles got a lot of flavor, y'all.
That's your best friend. He lives next door. He is such a cutie.
What you guys looking at?
My daughter's kindergarten class just got a website. That's your favorite dress.
Do we even have a website?
And now with Bell South Site Builder.
That's my mom's favorite dress. What are you guys looking at? My mom's company just got a website. Does she get a lot of hits?
Website development. Another solution with Bell South know-how.
The school board talks about where to send your child after the game.
This is ABC Sports, home of the Bowl Championship Series.
So this year the BCS championship game comes to the Nokia Sugar Bowl, and I would say it is better than advertised. We come down to the final quarter, 1 point separating 2 unbeatens, both of them trying to go home with the Sears National Championship trophy. 29-28, Virginia Tech leads it. This is 3rd and 3. Under pressure, Weinke. It'll depend on the spot. It didn't appear like he got it.
It's right at
Did not get it. I don't. Well, let's see if they knows of that football. I might have spoken too quickly.
Right at their line right there. That was Larry Austin, number 24. Neither Ike Charlton or Roniel Whitaker, number 2 and number 3, are in the football game. Good matchup, but a good job by Austin.
Nope. Now what? Decision time for Mr. Bowden.
I don't think there's any choice. He's got to go for this. He can't give that ball back to Michael Vick right now. His defense is dog tired.
Here it comes. 4th down and 1. Now remember, against Florida, they used 2 different quarterbacks to sneak rather than Weinke. We've got a timeout being called by Florida State. The cool one on the sideline.
Amazing things can happen when you push the right buttons. Introducing the 240 horsepower S2000 Roadster from Honda.
Overwhelmed by e-business? Don't be. Get the software, services, and partners that make it easier. The business internet. It starts with Microsoft.
It is more than a trial by fire. It is a rite of passage. And if you can master your fear, outsmart your enemy, and never yield even to yourself, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Want to upgrade your workout for the new millennium? Right now, during the best time to buy, get 0% financing till July 2000 on all treadmills priced $599 and above when you use your Sears card. Take this foldable ProForm EKG treadmill featuring power incline. It's only $599.99. You save $200. Sears, the good life at a great price. Guaranteed. Sears is the proud sponsor of the BCS and the Sears National Champion Football Trophy.
Well, these bowl games are great. These guys really know how to play.
College boys, big deal. Can they do this?
They could, but being college boys, they choose not to.
Marcus Outson, who was the emergency quarterback a year ago and led the Noles into the championship game by beating the Florida Gators in Tallahassee, is in on this 4th and short. But the Noles burn a timeout to get there as Weinke watches from the sideline. Outson, an option quarterback, has been a good runner. Virginia Tech obviously accepts pressure. They toss instead, and it's Minor running for the 1st down, swinging free, and he is out of bounds inside, and now the yellow comes flying along the sideline. A 16-yard run, and there may be more damage tacked on against Beamer and the Hokies. Let's sort this one out.
You know, with Outson in the football game, everyone thought it was going to be the quarterback sneak. Virginia Tech slanted and pinched their lineman inside. The pitch goes outside, kind of a gamble call. Imagine, Brett, if it didn't work, we'd all be up here second guessing. But everybody's coming in expecting the quarterback sneak. See the slants? Goes outside, and Minor just outruns the quarterback again, Nick Sorensen. Don't want to pick on him, but that's the type of guy that they have to try to take advantage of.
Gary, when you've coached right there and you can see the
15 more yards. I don't mind going for it on 4th down, but I hate it when we burn timeouts to do it. Now only 1 left in the game for the Noles.
Jamel Smith, guilty of that personal foul, puts the ball on the Tech 23-yard line with a 1st down. Chris Weinke back in.
Match up to the top of the screen, just man-to-man out here, off coverage.
Weinke sees it on the outside. Comes in underneath it. Jeff Chaney out of Lake Wales, Florida, still battling his way like he did against Florida. He was a big-time performer in that game in the swamp.
Travis Minor injured his ankle slightly against Florida, could not finish up, but Chaney came through. That's not the case in this game. Minor's all right, The game plan was to get Chaney in. He's a good receiver. Anthony Midget. One of the guys, Virginia Tech, they've already lost 2 guys I didn't think they could lose and win the football game. So I'm going to just keep quiet on this one. They might have more guys like him on the sideline.
Number 9, Anthony Midget, shaken up on the play. The game is 10 yards and the first down for the Noles.
Well, we got a moment here. Let me remind you that ABC kicks off the NFL playoffs. Bruce Smith, who was here watching his Hokies and the Buffalo Bills, head to Nashville to face the red-hot Tennessee Titans and running back Eddie George. It's game 1 of our wild card doubleheader, the AFC wild card playoff. And also, remember, we will announce the starting lineups for the 2000 NHL All-Star game during the telecast. You know, that can be an excellent playoff game when you think about Buffalo going into Nashville. The Titans have been superb at home. Tough to win going in there. Rob Johnson, the starting quarterback. That was a bit of a surprise announcement out of Buffalo, so you get a good chance.
Linebacker to the outside.
Weinke. End zone, no. Off the hand of freshman Bolden. Threw a little bit high, and now it looks like Charlton is taking himself out of this game. He's limping off to the sideline. Now you've got both of their starting corners.
I would think Midget looked good enough to come back in the game. It's going to be a flat. There he is, right to the outside. A flat and up throw you think Weinke should make. He's got a touchdown here. Just throws it a little too hard. Not enough air in the game on the ball.
Travis Minor alongside Weinke. 4 wideouts. Minor slips, goes nowhere. 3rd down.
Travis Minor, right side.
One thing Bowden has in his hip pocket is a Janikowski field goal down here. If they don't turn it over, at least would, for the moment, gain them a 2-point lead. But Rick and the Noles have got to be thinking, we need some touchdowns against Vick.
It's a dangerous time, 3rd and long, this close to the goal line. But on the other hand, Virginia Tech has both of their starting corners out of the game right now. Charlton and Midget aren't in. Number 2, Whitaker, number 24, Austin, are playing man-to-man against these Nole receivers.
They bring in tight end Ryan Sprague and fullback Dan Kendra for some protection. They'll try to slip Minor out. They go end zone, touchdown Dugans.
Perfect call.
Ron Dugans, the senior from Tallahassee.
Young kids, they went after the young kids. I think it's a busted assignment. You're not supposed to break down when a running back goes in motion and switch off. The corner went out for the running back, and that produced the mismatch. Here's the running back. Look at the corner go out and switch, and then you got a mismatch inside. Running back goes, you should not switch. Look at that. 2 guys covering, 1 out here, no one covering the wide receiver. It's tough to have your corners that have played all year on the sideline like that.
Big difference, buddy. Now it's the Noles' turn to go for 2.
I don't like it here either.
You're consistent.
Exactly. What's wrong with a 6-point lead?
And now Virginia Tech burns a timeout. So we'll take a break. 12:59 to go, and the Noles are back in the lead.
Every morning, the future walks into my classroom. As a teacher, it's my responsibility to empower my students with every advantage. That's why we worked with Dell. Because of Dell's relationships with education software companies, the internet became a learning tool to kindle my students' imaginations. Nothing is more important than giving my students the knowledge they crave. Dell understands that.
Be direct. Dell. Dell desktops use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
Okay, heads up. I'm quitting smoking. Again.
So, Dr. Jekyll, when should we expect Mr. Hyde?
You're looking at Hyde. I quit Saturday. This time, Nicoderm CQ.
Has Carol moved out yet?
Nope. In fact, she's tickled pink.
He does seem normal.
I am normal. This is CQ. Helps calm the cravings 24 hours a day, even when you first wake up.
Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
Guys, relax.
CAT-approved V6 7-passenger enormously powerful Odyssey from Honda. It's one big happy minivan.
The Nokia Sugar Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive brought to you by Inspired Technology with a Human Touch. Nokia, connecting people. Honda, a winning lineup of cars, sport utility vehicles, and minivans. Dell Computer, pioneering direct internet ideas for your business. Be direct, Dell. And Burger King, have it your way.
A record crowd of 79,280 on hand at the Louisiana Superdome, and not many folks heading for the exits on this one. It has been a dandy. 12:59 to go. This is the two-point conversion. After the pass from Weinke to Dugans, put the Noles back in the lead for the deuce. Got it. Warrick. Florida State recaptures the lead, 36-29, as against a battered secondary. Peter Warrick slips free for the two-point conversion. Timeout.
I'm going with extra pickles.
Pickles? I hate pickles. Onions rule, man. Give me extra onions, no tomatoes.
Tomatoes are key. I mean, pickles and tomatoes are like the yin and yang of the Whopper.
Look, you get your yin and yang and leave my onions alone, okay?
Okay. But you're wrong.
Hey, it's just a choice.
Yeah, and you choose to be wrong.
Oh, I'm Mike.
And I'm Jack. And that's my Whopper. It's my Whopper, and it's my $2.
Don't wish for it. Work for it. It's not a catchphrase to Dale. It's a way of life. That's why day in and day out, no one's more committed to getting the job done right. And what kind of a car does a man like Dale drive? Well, actually, he drives a tractor. But his son, a drummer in a local rock band, drives a Civic.
I want it to be a new way of looking at things.
I want it to be larger than life.
I want it to be a customer magnet.
I want it to be the second industrial revolution.
It should transport me wherever I want to go and take me back to where I came from.
I wanted to level the playing field.
Nortel Networks is building the new high-performance internet to be whatever you want it to be. So tell us, what do you want the internet to be?
A cash cow. Come together right now over me.
Man, I can tell you from experience, it's really exciting to play in a bowl game. Do you know that in the past life I used to be Joe Namath?
Norm, Joe Namath is still alive.
Oh, did I say Joe Namath? I meant Terry Bradshaw.
The battle for the national championship between #1 and #2. And Florida State finally on the board in the second half. They march 85 yards in 11 plays, 4 minutes and 14 seconds.
Emphasis on the battle. It's not coming easy, either one of these teams.
Michael Vick out of Newport News, Virginia. Can you imagine how good a pitcher he was in high school? How would you like to have stepped in against his fastball when you're a 13-year-old youngster, the way he brings it? Now let's see if Janikowski can bring the kickoff. Not sure the Noles have been overly happy with him so far today. At the goal line, Kendrick. Left return, surrounded. Now let's go back to his days in high school, where he was described as a young Randall Cunningham.
That's him in the
Ronald Curry? Yeah. Wearing their colors back in high school. You see where he thought he was stopped? He was dancing around in those days. Unbelievable. Folks, he's 6'1", 215 pounds, runs the 40 and 4.33, benches 320, squats 500, and he's got a 40-inch vertical leap.
And on top of all that, he played in the shadow of Ron Curry in Virginia at that time. I think that helped his resolve to be a good football player.
On the run, juggled out of Davis's hands. Couldn't hold on. So it is our AT&T game summary of this battle for a championship with Peter Warrick, the most celebrated shopper since Imelda Marcos, with 5 receptions for 120 yards and a touchdown. I knew you'd catch that.
I got it. I was reading instead of listening. That's always a mistake. Vick, 249 all-purpose yards. Also not on there, the 2 key injuries in the game, Ricky Hall and Shayne Smith.
From the gun. Inside shovel pass, Kendrick for the first down. Derek Gibson with the stop after a gain of 12 yards. Now, Virginia Tech's possessions here in the second half.
What a second half. 1 punt, then they caught their second win. Field goal first, and then it's momentum all the way. They've been feeling it. Ricky Bussell, the coordinator, has been able to call plays. Anything he grabs right now, he feels good with. 4 wide receivers. I bet this is going to be some kind of quarterback draw.
Takes the inside handoff and then did take off on a quarterback draw. Took a fumble. Knowles. Florida State football inside the 35-yard line.
He's only made a couple of mistakes in this football game. Turning the wrong way on the goal line is a perfect call again. Quarterback draw off of the fake. Here he comes. Got the ball kind of waving a little bit. Coming from behind. Is it poked loose? Yes. It's the helmet that time. Bobby Rhodes from behind. Really didn't go for it. Actually just diving on the play from behind. Doesn't quite get to the quarterback, and his helmet hits right on the football. One of the
Sean Key recovers it.
Excuse me, Brent. One of the interesting things is
Gibson, the rover, down on the field. So we'll take a break. 11:58 to go.
When you wake up, you will believe the following. I like football. I like watching football on television. I can't get enough football.
The comfortable Accord sedan from Honda. It's one powerful car.
Get the good life now at Sears during the best time to buy. For example, save $120 on this Kenmore washer and dryer pair and get free delivery. Sears, proud sponsor of the Bowl Championship Series and the Sears National Champion Football Trophy.
Come on, I see the delivery for the parakeet. Let me go surprise him. No. Come on. What if I gave you $3? How
much?
$4. Pets.com, because pets can't drive.
Unleash power, sell more per hour, get business going, keep it growing, change ammunition, kill competition, unlock data, make profits fatter, take sharper aim, boost market gain, save more time, more peace of mind, forge better ties, economize, link devices without a crisis. Our technology is hot, we are the dot.
Wednesday, it's simple, fast, and claims to make your vision go from this to this. But what risk factors could cause your eyesight to be ruined forever? 2020 Wednesday.
The third Tech turnover of the night and the second fumble by Michael Vick. First down and 10 for Florida State with 11:58 left in the battle for the BCS National Championship, and medical attention over there on the sideline for Derek Gibson. Cheney still in as the Florida State running back with the first call. Steps lively out to the right with a quick first step. Breaks free. Out of bounds. inside the 10-yard line.
Bobby Bowden going back to his roots a little bit. I formation, running the tailback. Cheney comes in. Years ago, this used to be the Florida State offense. I formation, play action passes. No one has changed better as the game has changed than Bobby Bowden.
Now it's Travis Minor. Toss to him. Kendra leads him. And he's stopped at the 10-yard line. Michael Hawks, the inside linebackers out of Blackstone, Virginia. Senior, playing in his last game here for the Hokies. This man has done a fine job. Sure is a nice man to be around. First time I'd had any opportunity to talk or spend any time with his coaching staff, and he strikes me as so down to earth. There's Coach Foster, who is simply one of the best. In case you just joined me, that's the man that Steve Spurrier wanted to get when Bob Stoops became the head coach at Oklahoma. And he decided to stay loyal to Frank here. Jeff Cheney back on the field. Play fake, in trouble, steps away from Moore, and now Weinke throws it away in the middle of the field.
Grounding, there's no one there. Not even a receiver.
I wonder if the tight end was knocked down on that.
I think they were trying to go to Peter Warrick, and it was bracketed by Virginia Tech. You see Frank Beamer. He said, we got one like that early. Chris Weinke was just trying to get rid of it. Peter Warrick bracketed to the outside. He wanted to go slant corner to the top of the top, and nothing there. Good defense. Right here, here's the end of the play. Trying to go to Warrick all the way. Everybody else is staying in. Feels the pressure. Doesn't really even look. Just turns around and throws it. That's grounding.
Third down and goal. Set the screen. Cheney in trouble. Penalty flag. Thrown at the 9-yard line.
Daniel Williams on the tackle attack.
Back it up against Bowden's boys. But you think about these two coaches, the one thing they share in common is loyalty with their assistant coaches. Both of these staffs have been the respective places.
Back block against the offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Janikowski time, and there is Coach Foster, the defensive coordinator.
Yes, both Bud Foster and Ricky Bussell have been with Frank since 1987. Ricky Bussell left for a year but came back. Bud Foster's been there the entire time.
32 yards for Sebastian Janikowski. Who knows? Maybe that was his last field goal for Florida State. Remember, he's going to turn professional. Needs the money to bring his mother Helena over from Poland. Timeout.
Nokia, we've discovered our phones are a lot like pets. They somehow seem to resemble their owners. Nokia. Connecting people.
If 1999 went by too fast, don't worry. We have it all on tape. This weekend, catch up on all the movies you've missed at Blockbuster.
Dr. Roger Maxfield's practice is growing fast, which is why he's ready for a professional money manager. The kind he never thought would handle individual portfolios. One of the best money managers is just a few feet away. If only the two could meet. See how we earn it. Solomon Smith Barney.
Sunday, the phenomenon is back.
He's won $1 million.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire returns Sunday 9/8 Central on ABC.
This is the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
Quickly to Lynn Swan.
Well, guys, Mickey Andrews is the defensive coordinator for the Seminoles, and he keeps going up against Ricky Bussel's offense. He's the offensive coordinator. They go way back. Ricky Bussell was a defensive assistant under Mickey Andrews at Clemson in 1977. But in 1983, they both ended up in Phoenix coaching the USFL team, the Wranglers. What happened was they hired Ricky Bussell. When they hired Mickey Andrews, they took Bussell and moved him to the offensive side, and that began his offensive career. Mickey right now is probably wishing, why did he leave the defense?
Yeah, I would say, there's Janikowski pounding this way.
That's what he expected.
That's halfway to Warsaw.
Well, you know why? It's now just getting to be Janikowski time. It's getting late at night now, see? He's used to being out this late.
That's right. See, that's the international rule that Coach Bowden was preaching.
He was out.
I want this man to be ready near midnight Eastern time. You bet.
He's just getting his legs.
They tell me, folks who saw him play soccer over in the Daytona Beach area, they tell me he was a whale of a soccer player. He could move around, very athletic, and so anybody needs a field goal kicker in the NFL, you got to think about Sebastian, and you'll get a character along with it. Let me tell you that. First down and 10. There's the end around with André Davis, the speedster, trying to get him some running room. First down and a gain of 16 yards with Bradley Jennings coming from behind to make a pretty good lick on him, huh?
Davis has had the one big catch. Scored 2 touchdowns this year on reverses, but that was a good start of a series for Virginia Tech. Take your time, 10 minutes to go in this football game. No reason to go too fast. Put a touchdown on, put the pressure back on the Noles.
First down and 10. Vick in trouble. Brian Allen makes the stop, and a program reminder that Sunday Dorothy Hamill leads a team of USA's elite against the world's best. Michelle Kwan, Todd Eldridge, Elvis Stoico. They'll put the reputations on the ice at the Kerry Lotion USA versus the World Figure Skating Challenge. Sunday at 4 Eastern, 3 Pacific. It's all part of Super January on ABC. And of course, it'll all culminate with the Super Bowl down in Atlanta. Got a chance for some fresh faces this year, don't we? Indianapolis playing very well under Jim Mora. Second down. Kendrick. You would have to think, Gary, and it would certainly be understandable, if Michael Vick was just a little bit tired. You know, I know he's 19 years old, but
you run as much. Now, you just count his yards he's rushed for. All the scrambling he's done behind the line of scrimmage has to take his toll. But remember, keep thinking back to that West Virginia game. When it was on the line, he had that tank ready to go and make plays at the end of the game.
Yeah, that saved their season, you bet. Third down and 8. And Vick trying to dance free, and he's pounded with Corey Simon, the All-American nose guard, the first to hit him.
Jerry Johnson inside the tackles.
Now there, folks, they're looking for the fairgrounds. They came in here to the wrong arena. So we've got some security down there. 8:17 to go.
I don't know about Michael Vick running out of gas, but that was the first time I've seen the defensive line for Florida State dominate the offensive line for Virginia Tech. No one blocked anyone in that series.
Peter Warrick, and it's a fake. Sorensen short of the first down. With 7:55 to go, Frank Beamer and the Hokies let it all hang out on a 4th down gamble.
See, I don't mind that one. I think it's worth it. 8 minutes to go in the game. You're down 10 points. I mean, why leave it in the bag, right? Let's go for it. Try to get the win. Sorensen, right? There it is. There's the ex-quarterback. Direct snap. Option play again. Cuts up field. Perfect play to the outside that time. Gets it. Goes as far as he can and doesn't get it.
7:52 to go. And the Noles 44 yards away.
Well, remember, we talked about it earlier when Florida State has the football, the Dell game solution. Let's see what's happened. Spread out and play one. It's worked for a while, but not as big. Travis Minor hasn't done much, and the hide, hinder, and hit has not really worked. It seems to me that Chris Weinke has known what the defenses are. They haven't hindered the pass routes. It's been more the pass rush than the secondary coverage that has been the story of the defense for Virginia Tech.
I'm going to take everybody back to the first half. 2 huge plays on the special teams. Difference makers. Gave the Seminoles a big edge. The blocked punt by Pulley. Shayne scored, and then it was Warrick on the punt return. 59 yards for the score. And so a team celebrated for its special teams, gives up 2 touchdowns.
One more look, the end of this play. Nick Sorensen goes all the way through it, kind of gets sandwiched in there, and then the last thing that hits the ground is his head with the helmet. I wonder if he's a little bit shocked by that play with his head hitting the ground. Looked to me like 2 helmets hit him from the right side and the left side. Might have got him in the ribs.
You know, we've talked so much about Sebastian Janikowski. We did ask him, why do you want to turn professional next year after your junior season?
I mean, I could come back for my senior year just to stay, you know, help those guys, help the team do what I do. But when I talk to my parents, and my mom is really important to me, so I can send her some money, you know, help her out, or either bring her here or just live with me.
That's a great thought. Here's Weinke going deep. Warrick's all alone. Penalty flags down. Touchdown. Touchdown, Florida State. 43 yards, and Peter Warrick, a night of redemption, his 3rd touchdown of this championship game. The reason why he came back as a senior, he told us, was to win a ring and a championship trophy. Held to only 1 catch last year by Tennessee.
Danielle Whitaker, the freshman, was matched up. The ball was underthrown, and the All-American made the play. Interference called. He still came up with the catch.
Janikowski trots back onto the field. The highest scoring Sugar Bowl of all time is going to go down in the record books in the BCS championship game.
1-on-1. Everybody in the stadium knew it was going to be 1-on-1. Right here. Here's number 2, the freshman. The All-American is just straight down the field. Play action pass. Weinke throws it too late. Does not throw it far enough. Watch. Warrick has to reach back. Gets hit. Ball bobbles, and he makes the catch. Great concentration. Interference would have been called. Remember, college, it would have been just a 15-yard penalty. Look at that concentration from Peter Warrick. Cleveland Brown fans, are you watching? Is this the guy you take? Give Tim Couch some firepower.
You know, I lean a little bit to LeVar Arrington. Oh, there he is. You bet.
Story is Chris Weinke in this football game. Since the interception, when he didn't look off the safety, 8 for 10, 2 touchdowns. Made a mistake, very similar to a year ago when he had that interception game against North Carolina State. He went on to finish off the season. Today he throws the interception, comes back, 2 touchdown passes. Chris Weinke, that man right there, Peter Warrick.
Well, as you all know, the celebrated situation involving Peter Warrick, suspended a couple of games. His teammate and friend, Lavernius Coles, kicked off of the team. And I asked Peter Warrick, what have you learned from this year?
I know I messed up, true indeed. But, you know, I learned from my mistakes, and I feel like God has a better plan for me. And, you know, it's time for me to just move on and not worry about what I did and just worry about what I have to do.
The plan tonight, 6 catches, 163 yards, and 3 touchdowns. 1 on a punt return and 2 receptions. Vick in trouble. That's the 5th sack of the game against a young man who we will be hearing an awful lot about in the next couple of years.
Not the type of game, obviously, throughout the whole year this year. Michael Vick only threw 17 or more passes in 3 games, and usually when he was throwing, they were ahead. They threw when they wanted to throw, not in this situation.
Wearing down, but he gave us a great show, didn't he?
Sure did. And offensive line's wearing down, too.
He waited with Mickey Andrews and Coach Bowden and the rest of them start talking about this young man after the game.
Unbelievable.
And the nerves that were there on the Florida State sideline. Let's go to Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, the much heralded defense for the Virginia Tech Hokies is being decimated. Nick Sorensen is out for the rest of the game with a concussion, and Ike Charlton, well, the problem with Charlton on the offensive side of the ball is the fact that they've asked him to go in, and he says, I'm still cramped up. He's been back here, and he refuses to go back in. He says it still hurts.
And Michael Vick's pass is knocked away, and you can just sort of in the building, and I'm sure many of you watching on television now, you can feel the noose tightening around a young man who gave us a spectacular performance. I would vote for him clearly as the MVP of this game, even if he doesn't win it. I think it's been unbelievable.
I mean, Peter Warrick has a claim, but he kept his team in. I mean, this is a team that is not in this football game without that guy right there. Literally, in this game or in the game, both ways.
And look who's back, set to return a punt. Virginia Tech is going to call a timeout. Peter Warrick out there at the 45-yard line, because already tonight, Peter Warrick with 3 touchdowns, the 64-yard reception, the punt return, and finally the dagger. Peter Warrick. That little trouble cost him the Heisman and the Biletnikoff. And one of the things he wanted to show tonight is that he feels he is the best receiver in college football today.
I think maybe more than that, he wants to show he's the best player in college football today. And he might have a legitimate argument about that. A lot of good ones. Number 7's got a good argument. Number 33 of Wisconsin does too. And your man, I mean, everybody else is really. Lamar Harrington's not a bad football player.
A lot of good stories developed this year, didn't they, in college
really
football?
You know, and this BCS thing's working pretty good. I hate, you know, I mean, it's 2 pretty good games here. It's a good football game.
A little short on the punt. It's going to take a Florida State hop in down around the 40-yard line. And so tonight's aerial facilities provided by Nokia here at the Nokia Sugar Bowl, the Finnish telephone company that has done so well over the last decade. And alongside where they play basketball and minor league hockey, you can see the New Orleans Arena right there where they sold tickets to this overflow crowd. They went inside to watch the game on the big screen. Folks over there, I hope you enjoyed the action tonight. It has been a wonderful football game. 6:11 to go. The highest scoring Sugar Bowl of all time. Florida and Florida State had put 72 on the board. And whistle dead. Chaney slipping down.
Brent, you get to this point in the game now with 6 minutes. You look at Chris Weinke. Now he'll be, if he's winning this game, and he should win it, obviously, 21-1 as a starter, 27 years old. Brent, in the National Football League this year, 22 different starting quarterbacks were younger than Chris Weinke is right now. He has not announced whether he's turning pro, but I think it's my opinion, he needs to move on. I think he's good enough to play at the next level. Got a good arm. I think it's time.
I think Michael Vick's ready to play at the next level, but it's not legal. Second down at 13. Here's Cheney. Let's go down below to Lynn Swan. Lynn?
Well, Brent, the Sears National Champion Trophy since its inception in 1993, counting this Sugar Bowl, has been at 50 different sites. And the first team to win this trophy, Florida State Seminoles. And they are obviously trying to make sure that they are the first team in the 21st century to also win this trophy. Just a sidebar, the person who owns this company, Waterford that makes it crystal, Dr. Anthony O'Reilly, actually won the equivalent of the Heisman Trophy while he was a student at Oxford. Brent?
Thank you, Lynn. Home run ball on its way again, knocked away.
Play.
The freshman, Whitaker.
Showed some speed there, Whitaker. Just a freshman, came from behind. That ball was better thrown than the last one.
Florida State coaches thought that maybe, just maybe, this young man's one of their better defensive backs.
I don't think there's any doubt he's got the potential to be. He runs well. He was their third defensive back in all season this time, and he's got the speed that they look for. It was one-on-one coverage, too. No help all over the field.
Cottrell. Nobody back. They'll come out on the 20-yard line. You look at Bobby Bowden's 23 years, and he has never been unbeaten. They have lost every time out, but tonight, Coach Bowden appears headed for his first ever unbeaten season and his second national championship. When you go back and take a look at Bobby Bowden by the numbers, it is just unbelievable. 13 straight seasons, 10 or more wins. Michael Vick to Davis, and he is dropped by Thomas. Let me remind you folks that the network will kick off the NFL playoffs. The Buffalo Bills go to Nashville to face the red-hot Tennessee Titans, and running back Eddie George named one of our wild card doubleheader, the AFC wild card playoff. Coverage begins at 12 Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time. There's the inside shovel pass to Kendrick. And you know, as I look at Michael Vick, I am just reminded by our folks down the truck that Steve Young is going to join our pregame show on Saturday. And I got to tell you, looking at Vick, he's got a little bit of Steve Young in him. And Steve, I don't know if you ever ripped like he was, but
no way. But and maybe a tenth of a second faster in the 40, and Steve was probably as fast as they went as a quarterback.
Vick is back. Complete. First down. Virginia Tech, 338, and Emmett Johnson for 23 yards that time.
Florida State is conceding yards now for time off the clock. Brent, you told the story about Bobby Bowden. I mean, this is a guy who came to Florida State, found a home, and really built a dynasty. This is a dynasty now. There's no doubt about that. The way this team has played in college football, the way Parity has gone to have the record he has, he's attracting the top talent in the country.
And Vick fires again. This one to Davis, getting to the corner, trying to get it turned, but Gibson would not let him free. 23 more yards, however, and the heart the Hokies demonstrated in here is something, because Florida State had them down and almost out in the first half when it was 28-7. Back came Michael and the Hokies. They put on the show, took the lead in the third quarter, even without their best running back, Stith, who went out with an injury. Then finally, Mickey Andrews and the Knowles defense settled things down out there. The offense did the rest. Peter Warrick for another touchdown. 46-29. And the Hokies driving right back down the field. For the end zone, incomplete, but a penalty flag is thrown.
Tay Cody, number 27 that time, had his man wrapped up. Back to Michael Vick again. I mean, as you see the penalty, it's going to be holding against Florida State.
During the pass, holding on the defense, half the distance to the goal from the previous spot, automatic first down.
One of the great moves that Virginia Tech did a year ago was to redshirt this guy. Remember? Al Clark was even injured. The temptation was to put him in the football game, but Frank Beamer said, no, I'm going to wait for 1999 season, and it has paid off in a run for the national championship. Redshirting Michael Vick was the best thing that ever happened to him.
And on first down, Vick fires incomplete, and it will be second down. Virginia Tech has enjoyed that magical season. They were forced to the wall by West Virginia.
Got hit by two guys on this one, I believe. At least two were coming at him. Shotgun, gets rid of it quick, throws it, boom, there's one, there's two coming from two sides that time.
Second down.
Take the lot to get this guy out of the game, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Built like a lineman.
I think the clock was running, and it wasn't supposed to be running. Is what happened. Is the Virginia Tech sideline exploded. And of course, Coach Bowden said, "Come on, run that. That can't be fast enough for me. Let me get out of here, away from that number 7." It's an incomplete pass. And let's get some seconds back on it. And, you know, I've got a moment here. There are so many folks I want to thank who've made our lives so much easier this year. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Howard Katz. The executive producer of college football is John Filippelli. The coordinating producer of ABC's college football and producer of tonight's game is Bob Goodrich. Directed by Drew Esikoff. Technical directors Doug Schmidt and Mike Herklotz. Our associate producers Mitch Green, Chris Pfeiffer.
2 minutes and 40 seconds.
And Patrick McManus. Our associate director is Brian Gordon. The production managers Lynn Cadden and Kelly Nagy. Our technical operations manager Jimmy Licata. Assistant to the producer ZNX Drew Kaliski and Larry Tiscornia. The computer stats Craig Rothberg. Thanks to one and all who have helped us. Second down now for Michael Vick. 2:40 to go in this game. Vick runs daylight and down at the 5-yard line. And of course, finally, thanks to our stats man Roger Riley and our spotter all season long Brian Mobilson. It has been a fabulous college football season, and it has all come down to Mr. Bowden here. 13 straight years among the Associated Press's top 4. Played for the national championship 3 times in the last 4 years. And in 24 years, folks, he's had only 1 losing season in Tallahassee. That was his first when they went 5-6. Vick firing, caught, and driven out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Forward progress stopped right there, and they continue to wind the clock with André Davis going out of bounds. Wonderful family man, been a friend for a long time. Says he has no thoughts about retiring. He and his lovely wife Ann, 6 children, 21 grandchildren. I think all 6 are here tonight.
Well, why should you? You do interviews while your team runs a flea flicker. It's easy, right?
You know, he's a little horsed from all the interviews he did over. Oh, it was a quip a minute. He's the best interview this side of my friend Joe Paterno. Here's Vick going down now. 12-yard line. That's the 7th sack. Bradley Jennings pouring in on him again.
First time Michael Vick towards the end of this football game has gotten frustrated with the offensive line. He's trying to get it to the outside right here. Florida State brings everybody. No blocking. Peeling peeling defensive end right there. Took away his throw. That's a technique that is often used by Florida State. Blitz inside, peel the defensive ends. Vick had nowhere to go with the football. And here comes the Schwab bucket.
You bet. You know, Bobby, too old for that. That's what he's thinking. I am putting one of those baths. And still wants to get back out there and keep on flinging. You get the feeling he'll be back.
Yeah, I think this was a much cleaner played game than a year ago in the national championship. Both staffs have come to understand the long layoff and getting their team ready.
Well, this is an honor they could not take away from Peter Warrick, the MVP of the BCS championship game. Peter Warrick, who was denied the Heisman, denied the Biletnikoff, steps up at center stage for a national championship. The game he came back to win after being held to one pass last year in the desert. And he is our most valuable player in this game. 6 catches for 163 yards and 2 touchdowns there, and then a 59-yard punt return for a 3rd touchdown. So you talk about most valuable, and you got to start with Peter Warrick. Taken. Well, the first champion of the 21st century, and it's a familiar face over there, Bobby Bowden and the Florida State Seminoles. It took Bowden 24 years, but he finally got it perfect. And now one of the genuine good guys can enjoy his 2nd national championship as he wins the Nokia Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. The Seminoles are champions. 46-29. Coach Frank Beamer and his Hokies showed a lot of heart in their comeback, but they came up short, and he'll go over to congratulate Coach Bowden. One stat that Virginia Tech will go home and think about. Corey Moore tonight was held to 1 tackle. They lose it. The presentation is coming up next here on ABC.